Hello, and welcome to episode 33 of the Chronicles of Nidum, presented by us, Dice the Beholder, and streamed through the wonderful Heavyweight Gaming. So episode 33, welcome back, everyone who's watching, everyone who will watch. Thanks for the support. Before we go into the game, again, we're going to be doing this, everyone should be, I think, before leading up to the last weekend of August. We have, you can see in the bottom, where am I? Corner? No, wait, hang on. Bottom corner. We have our banner up for the 48-hour charity stream that we are taking part in, run by Heavyweight Gaming, streamed through this channel in the last weekend in August. So 28th noon, Friday, until the 30th noon on Sunday. Three amazing charities that have been chosen. The 48-hour stream will encompass many tabletop role-playing games and lots of fun console and PC gaming as well. There's going to be D&D, Pathfinder, Vampire, Fortnite, maybe some Apex Legends. Might chuck some Sea of Thieves in there as well. AD knows more, and more details will come the closer and closer we get to that weekend. Donations, however, have started already. They can start now. So if you go below, right now, on Heavyweight Gaming, you will see the donate bar. And you'll see the donations go up the closer and closer we get to the last weekend in August. So please, if you can, obviously, we're not guilt-tripping you or anything. If you can, please pop down to the donate bar below and click on the link and get involved. Even if you can't come along and support the stream, it's going to be an awesome weekend. But yeah, that I think is enough on that for now, according to my colleague Greg, who will tell me if it was too long or not, I'm sure. AD, if you could bring everyone on the screen. Hi.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we are, through various real-life reasons, without the wonderful players for Ace and Oriana this evening. However, the mechanics are going to be run by the two wonderful remaining players. Conversations.
I'm going to give away all of Oriana's money.
Yes, absolutely. And then in real life, find he's getting a divorce. Yes, episode 33.
Yeah, Charlie is watching from the chat, so if we do anything too horrible to Oriana, she's going to tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who weren't here or missed some of last week, last time on the Chronicles of Nidum, having finally found your way to Londinium, the heart of Albion, and seat of power of the Empire that want many of you dead, you entered peacefully, as far as you could tell, unnoticed.
Thwarting as far as we could tell.
Thwarting an immediate attempt to pick your pockets, you took your tired and weary forms to the nearest, somewhat lavish inn to rest for the night before venturing forth in the morning to find the quest you had come to search for. Being tired, with tempers a little bit frayed, the party ended up splitting for the evening. Some of you staying in the room, one of you staying in the room, and some of you taking yourselves on personal missions. Some more innocent than others, but all eventually then finding your way back to your rooms in a well-earned rest. The next morning, you all woke quickly and left with a lot of unresolved tensions from the night before to find the group that would have you all head below. Getting directions to the Hall of Light. You found it easily enough, and discovered a quite varied group of adventurers that you also then discovered was going to be led by two Elven knights. They almost immediately commanded your attention when you arrived, when they offered full pardons for any and all crimes against any of the laws of the Empire to any that disclosed their sins before venturing on their quest. This piqued a lot of your interest, and after many select revelations from you all. You were then left alone for an hour to prepare for your journey into Londinium below. So you find yourselves in the courtyard. Again, it is huge. It is 100 feet across, and the parties have effectively split. You saw the large group of halflings, the half-orcs, more orc than half, a couple of shady hooded elves standing off effectively alone, not even looking like they're with each other, and a group of Durgar who now look quite bereft and stressed out that their half-elf, apparently their weapon, has been taken away from them for this hour until you leave.
As a question, do they look bereft because they've lost a weapon or bereft because they've lost a friend? Like, what's the kind of face they're pulling? I don't know how you determine that, really. They just look bereft.
Roll me an insight check.
Oh, no, that's not a good start. These are things I'm not good at, and I don't have any dice. Okay, there we go.
You're right, not having any dice isn't a good start.
It would be a very bad start. And
it's a big part of how you play this game, I've heard.
Oh, shush you. 19.
19, okay. As you look at the Durgar then, they don't look upset. They are stalking, they're angry, stalking back and forth. Some of the small, even for dwarves, some of the Durgar are worrying their hands. They seem to be constantly checking their weapons that look chipped and broken. They are frightened, they're scared. It seems that most of their power may come from their captive.
Or a captive. That actually sounds about right. You did forget one... David Adams. You did forget one important thing, was that Sepsis showed their face for the first time.
Did do that.
At all.
You didn't mention it.
I didn't mention it. I didn't. Sorry, I apologize. Sepsis last week showed their face for the first time. A brown, scaled visage that.
Excuse me. Yellow-green.
Yellow-green. I apologize. Colorblind, remember? A yellow-green scaled visage that no one seemed to recognize.
Yeah, everyone failed massively on their nature checks.
Yeah, to me, you're a thingy.
That's dehumanizing, deunitizing.
Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It's not right. Yeah.
Anti.
Is there anything that you would in particular like to do for this hour?
Yeah.
Downstairs?
In an hour, we discussed this after the session last week. I am going to take the artificer infusion off my cloak of Elven. What is wrong with me today? What is it called? Cloak of
Elvenkind.
Elvenkind. Right, I'm just going to go back to bed. I give up. I'm going to take it off that, and I'm going to create a second set of goggles of night.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep my... I'm going to make a second set of goggles of night. So I should have 2 sets of goggles of night, and I'm going to give them to Ace, so that Ace will have dark vision in the Underdark.
So you'll both now actually have dark vision while you're below.
Yeah.
That's fine.
To accomplish that, I'd actually have to take... I have 3 available infusions. I don't know if people know the Artificer class, but I've got 3 infusions. One is on my armor, which is the other one I'm going to remove.
Okay.
So I'm going to make it so we both have night vision, and then I'll just have the enchantment on my crossbow that I normally have. Sorry, the infusion on my crossbow that allows me to fire without ammo and without loading.
Okay.
So my armor class is now crapper, but I might help Ace not get murdered in the darkness.
No problem. So you now both there's no disadvantage to being in the dark. That's fine.
We have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Excellent.
Can we pretend I've added it to Ace's character sheet and we'll sort it out later?
Absolutely can.
Sepsis.
Are you just prompting me because usually when people say they have dark vision, I point out that I have more dark vision than them? Because I do. I have 120 feet.
Not quite, but is there anything you wanted to do for this hour now before entering down?
No, but what I will say is that. Oh, do you know what? Yes, I think I'll resummon Worm.
Okay.
So I will dismiss and resummon Worm, having hopefully intuited that he'd come back whole.
Okay. You instinctively, due to your pact, know the way that Find Familiar works. It's something that you dreamed once. It seems
Yeah,
to be
you say
knowledge
that.
you just retained.
You say that, but I forgot a pretty important feature of it, which is that I can speak through my familiar with my voice, whether they can speak or not, which would have been useful in the train.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But,
So,
yeah.
You do spend that time. How long does Find Familiar take?
It takes, I believe it takes a minute, but I will be casting it as, no, it takes an hour, in fact. So it's going to take me 70 minutes, so I suppose I can't do it, actually. No, not with an hour. In that case, I haven't cast any spells, there's no point in me taking... I'll just, I don't really have anything I need to do in that time, then. What I will say is that I don't, I haven't put my hood back up.
Okay.
I would like to wander over to services. Well, I know it would take me about an hour to change the infusions over, because I know we said I'd have started it earlier, but I figure it would take me the last hour to finalize everything. So I'm just going to sort of ignore all my friends and sit there and rearrange all of my clothing and items, taking bits off it. Yeah.
It doesn't take you an hour, it takes you a short rest. Just 45 minutes or an hour to do so.
That's fine.
Nearing then the end of the hour, you see stalking out of the Hall of Light and down the stairs into the center of the courtyard are the two knights, again flanked by their quite large, robust metal guards, the strange automatons that you've seen them commanding previously. The younger one walks over to the orcs, flanked by two of the metal guards. The older, however, stalks towards the four of you.
All right.
And as he gets closer, he stops, the guard standing next to him, at a respectful distance. Hello there.
Good afternoon.
I have a request to make of you, if you would hear it.
We would.
I need to be here to keep a wary eye on my apprentice. But I require someone to go and fetch something for me from the dungeons below.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Natural 1.
You absolutely believe it.
Good. I wanted to. Yeah, that sounds completely legitimate. I will do that. What's in it for us?
Well, we don't have long. However, I would ask that you fetch the half-elf from the Durgar. I do not trust the Durgar going inside our halls. And there is a cell next, or adjoining, the one the Durgar has been put in, the half-elf has been put into. that houses a strange and insane human who is sometimes quite useful to the Order. At request of him.
Why do you need to keep such a close eye on your apprentice? Is he going to kill a bunch of kids or something?
He is impetuous. It is something I have not yet been able to train out of him. So, at the beginning of missions like this, he makes promises and gives orders that are sometimes, perhaps sometimes are slightly too harsh. So I would do better watching him and send someone else in my stead.
Okay. Second question. The half-elf belongs to the Durgar party, I believe. Why are we being sent for him instead of them?
Well, I do not trust the Durgar inside the halls.
And yet you trust us, people who are extraordinarily illegal in every single way. I believe that actually my race in and of itself is illegal around here.
I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever seen your kind before. However,
I was told.
I will say then that out of every group here, you and your friends have the most to gain from staying on our good side. I do not believe the rest of them are being hunted by the entire Empire.
Well, you've got me there.
If you do not wish to go below, that is...
No. Of course, we're eager to help out in any way that we can. Do you have directions to where we're going? Your map?
Fives will accompany you.
Oh.
And the automaton steps forward. He's at least a foot taller than Oriana, who stands at 6 feet herself. And towers over Sepsis.
Excellent.
First thing he does, though, uncharacteristic of the automatons you've seen so far, who normally are only moving without orders, is crouched down in front of Dice. And he very slowly puts a metal hand out and starts to stroke Cedric.
Cedric is delighted and starts wagging his tail.
The sound of that is absolutely awful.
It echoes around the courtyard. It bounces off the walls. You can see many of the Durgar and a couple of the elves, the orcs not so much, holding their ears at the horrible screech and grind of metal as one metal hand just very, very, very heavily strokes the rough metal head of Cedric.
I can't say anything. It's fine. Carry on.
Doesn't seem like Fives is the ideal person to lead us, being that he has fallen for the charms of this devil dog.
It's not a devil dog. I just believe Fives may recognize a, might I say, very finely crafted kin, I suppose.
I look at the dog. I say, that dog's from hell.
Can I work out whether the elf realizes he just complimented my workmanship?
Roll an insight check.
I don't want to keep rolling insight checks. I'm not good at 18. I am good at them today. 18.
Better than me.
Both have been good. Both have been great, actually.
There was the faintest, almost like you imagined it, but there was the quickest little glance at you as he said the very finely crafted. There was a very quick glance at you, a glance of maybe grudging respect.
Nice. Okay.
Well, lead on then, Fives.
You don't have long.
I hope that dog doesn't take you to hell with it.
Please hurry. Five stands up and walks ahead of you, not even looking back to try and work out whether you're following.
We follow.
I encourage Cedric to frolic alongside him as we walk.
Okay. And the dog does just dance around Five's legs, but the only out of place action from the automaton was to stroke Cedric, and he now seems to be completely ignoring him as he goes about his mission.
Fine.
While Cedric frolics, Sepsis goes to the extreme other end of the party.
He doesn't take you up the stairs of the Hall of White then. He takes you off to a lower door that seems to be built in and hidden out of the way off to the left. The door opens, there is a small landing, but it quickly leads then to stairs that descend down in a kind of, not a spiral, but a very quick and steep square stairs as they spiral down below you.
Walk down the steps.
The footsteps then from Five's thunder up and down the tunnel as you descend. And it takes you maybe 10 flights of stairs before you finally get far enough down that there is no light apart from that very faint torchlight on the walls off in the distance, but there's a long corridor. And you, at least then, Dice and Ace, can see for, well, Dice, Ace and Oriana can see for at least 60 feet. You can see the doors on each side. Sepsis, you can see for 120 feet.
Correct.
And you can see that the doors on each side give way to large barred areas. So at the front, what appears to be cells then gives way to much larger chambers that just seem to have bars across the front of them. Fives continues on, stops just when the doors are about to end, points at one of the doors and points to one of the large barred chambers with his other hand and just looks at you with his completely blank face.
I go, you want us to open the doors?
He points at the door and then puts his hands up to the side of his head, and his fingers kind of crunch closed, apart from one.
Let's go
points
find.
back where ears would be,
Okay.
and then points to the other chamber.
Pointy ears. Right, got it. Okay.
And then, as he's pointing to the other chamber, he just goes like this.
Thank you. While I'm talking to him, previously I've run a check against these things, and we discovered that I think it might be powered by a human soul. I want to try and work out two things in the time I'm sort of following this guy around, because I can be close enough to get a decent look at him for a change. And what I would like to know is why this one's different, because he clearly is. Like, what's special? Why is it reacting differently? Why does it have a personality-ish?
Okay.
And two, I want to double check that I really do think it's powered by a human soul. I'm pretty sure it is at this point, but I'd like to have a look at him.
Okay.
But in such a way, I'm not going to like grab him and start like taking bits apart and having a look inside, because that seems rude.
That's fine then, because this is very much in your vein of artificery. As a battlesmith, the creator of Steel Defenders. This is very much, your wheelhouse. Roll Arcana with advantage, please.
You said and then just stopped.
Oh, sorry. I spoke. Roll Arcana with advantage, please.
Was it just me who didn't hear you speak? Am I losing my mind? Right, let's have a look. Okay, Arcana with advantage. Yeah, that's going to be 22.
22, okay. As you stare at him then, with your eyes, the goggles of the night, the kind of arcane aura that infuses the goggles you're currently wearing lights up on him. and you can see the very similar aura, but with one slight difference. There is something of the divine about his makeup, and it's centered in his chest. And you look at that control crystal again, that on this model seems to be kind of slightly more hidden by a chest plate. But you can see there is something in there that smacks of necromancy.
Okay.
There is a soul causing this thing to move.
Necromancy, you say?
Human or not, it's there.
Is that why it seems to be... It seems to have more personality? Do they all secretly have personalities? Or is this just that this one's a bit special? In a good way, not a...
The other thing you notice with your role, it shines through more than the first one you saw.
It's like a stronger connection.
But then it doesn't, as if it's constantly being muffled in some way. But the muffling seems to be aging, perhaps, degrading. Maybe the longer this creation exists, the more the soul tries to shine through.
Interesting. Okay, that's enough for now. Thank you.
What do we see as regards opening these cells?
Okay. Do you want him to go and open the cell? There are no guards down there. There's just you and Fives.
Yeah.
He's pointing at the cells now, one of which he intimated there was a pointy-eared person inside. The other one he just pointed at and made that motion and then that motion.
Tall person. Or short person, I'm not really sure.
Or someone with an accordion.
Or someone with an accordion, could be. Can I go over and have a look at the half-elf, please?
Yeah. There is a small kind of barred window in the door. And as you look in, you do see the armoured and cloaked figure from upstairs that you saw earlier, almost an hour ago, is standing there with their back to you. Just almost completely still, but you can see then chains that seem to be joined at, well, they go past their waist, but they're joined to each wall of left and right of the figure.
I'm going to go. Hello?
You see the head kind of turn a little bit to look back over their shoulder at you.
Hi, we've been sent to retrieve you and take you up to the up to where everyone's meeting.
The figure twirls, and it's almost as if they're dancing. And very deftly turns until they are facing you, after lifting their hands over their head, and you can see now their hands are manacled and chained to each wall. And they just hold the chains out in front of you.
Hey, you're not going to kill us, are you?
Has anyone intimated that they would?
You see Five's hand come past you, and he's got a key in his hand. And he's holding it out to Dice.
No one has, but, you know, he's chained up. That implies that he's dangerous.
Is it a he or a she, the half-elf, sorry? Or are they? What are they?
Roll a perception check.
All right. Yeah, that's also really good. Today is a good day so far. Now you're all going to turn against me. 20.
As you look, there is a very fine layer of hair which does seem to concentrate around the jawline, just above the lip, but it is blonde enough almost to be impossible to see in most lights. Through your dark vision in these greys, it stands out a little bit more. Other than that, this is one of the most androgynous people you've ever seen.
Okay. I unlock the door and go in and go, "Can you speak?" And start unlocking the manacles.
They kind of cock their head at you.
And you just choose not to. You have so many pleasant conversations that you don't want a new one?
They just stare at you.
Okay, you're fun to be around. Come on. And I open the manacles and sort of encourage them to come with me.
They step out of the cell, look up at the large automaton fives, and just put their hands inside their cloak and wait.
I back off.
I stay very close, looking sort of mildly curious and smiling.
Fives steps then to the other cell, the one that has just had bars at the front. Roll a perception check. Anyone cares?
That'll just be me then. Oh no, wait! I can roll for 2 people.
I can also roll for
Yay!
1 people.
All right, mine's 22, and Ace is 20. I got an 18 and an 18 on 2 dice.
Nice. Okay.
Charlie rolled a 7.
Oh, does she want to borrow my dice? They seem nice.
No, but Worm rolled a 15.
Okay. Worm then, obviously through his telepathic bond with you, Sepsis, and Ace and Dice, you notice as you follow Fives to the larger cell, to the left of the small one you just opened, the bars on this one, as you look at the cell opposite it and slightly further down the hall, all the other bars are quite thin, maybe no more than an inch, inch and a half across, though there are many of them, and they are solid iron. This one, these bars are of a metal you do not recognize, and they are, in a lot of places, almost maybe half a foot thick.
We don't recognize the metals. Ace doesn't recognize the metal.
I want Ace to make a investigation check.
Oh, that's not their forte. No offense, Em. It's 11.
It seems to have many of the qualities of some of the finest steel that they have ever seen, but it has a darkness to it that is not indicative of any metal that they recognize.
All right, that's fine. I look at Sepsis to see if they're going to move towards the cell. Yeah.
Sepsis not to move towards the cell. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Fine. I wander over and I turn to Fives and go, "Can I have the key for this one too, please?"
Fives kind of cocks his head at you and just shakes it.
There's no key?
He raises his hand and hammers on the bar. There is a low, so low you feel it like a vibration in your gut. There is a very low metal ring that seems to reverberate through the floor at your feet and the air that you're breathing as the metal is struck.
Weird.
Is it the brown note?
Almost. And as you look inside the bars, you do see 2 large eyes kind of open in the darkness.
I go, "Hello."
You see a very small, skinny human man, balding, maybe 30 or so, step forward out of the shadows at the back of, the shadows at the back of the cell, because the cell is quite deep. It exceeds even your dark vision. Though Sepsis, if he had moved, if they had moved, would have been able to see them. They walk forward slowly. Their eyes are wide and manic and whiter than any eyes you've ever seen. They seem to be swimming inside their head.
Yeah. I don't say that out loud, I think it.
With the perception check from earlier, I'll let you take that. There are some very peculiar smells coming from inside the cell, and a faint bubbling.
Sepsis,
Hello.
do you recognize the smells from this gentleman's room?
Do I recognize the smells from this gentleman's room?
Roll a Arcana check.
An Arcana check, you say? No, that's Ariana. 20.
Okay. It is the last time you smelled a lot of this in such strong quantities was the alchemist shop in Cardiff. There are concoctions, there are potions being made somewhere in the darkness of this cell. And as you then, with your dark vision, kind of look past some of the bars, you can see off in the back corner there is, shrouded in darkness to most, a fully working alchemist table with experiments ongoing. There is a fully kitted, what appears to be shelf full of alchemical ingredients.
I send Worm in there as an invisible spider to check it out and see what's being made.
Okay. While that's going on then.
And I say, nope, don't recognize any of that.
Can I do an insight check against that, please?
If you want to.
Of course you can.
What crap? I love this
Millie?
today. It's a 20.
Cool, I got a 27.
Oh, fuck you. That is the highest. The highest I can go on insight is 21.
I rolled quite well on that one.
Fuck you.
Mental note from Greg. Highest Amelia can roll is 21. There we go.
Yeah, you basically your highest possible roll barely beats my average.
But I have beaten you a couple of times.
You
so
have, yeah.
really, I
Yeah.
go, okay.
That is how statistics work.
Shut up. I go, okay, that seems fair.
The small figure walks forward, and as you can now see them more clearly, they break into what appears to be a very calm smile, and just walks forward towards the bars, reaches through them, and taps on the chest of Fives. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Have you brought breakfast?
We were not instructed to bring breakfast, I'm sorry. I have...
Did he think we were breakfast?
No, Sepsis.
I was asking Ace.
I'm not a cannibal. Most
I didn't
of
intend
the time.
I didn't intend that to be heard by him, but
Maybe he's got really good hearing. I go, Ace, do you have any toast left in those pockets? Ace? Oh, no, camera. Bad. No. Whatever, it'll sort itself out in a minute. Ace is going to give me a piece of toast. Because Ace took breakfast.
I don't know if you want to do that. I got in loads of trouble for lending someone 10 gold a little while ago.
This is toast. I think Ace would definitely give the poor man breakfast.
Do you hand the toast to him?
Yes. I go, I have toast.
He takes it off you quite slowly.
It's cold.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you're all going to die soon.
Yeah, probably. Maybe you
Seems
will.
likely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're coming with us.
Yay.
No.
Well, that's what the general said.
You hear a shift in metal, and Fives shakes his head. I am not for the walking, the leaving. I am for the staying, the controlling. Out there, I am much more dangerous to them than I am in here. Out there, I can feel they do not want this. In here, I am calm. Even though I would not like to be.
So, what will you be doing, and why have they sent us to fetch you?
I'm sure your big metal friend here has a list. And he hands, holds his hand out to Fives as he continues to munch on the piece of toast. And Fives then, from a small kind of socket in his leg, takes a piece of paper out and hands it through. Very well. And the man turns around and walks back over to his alchemy station. As he walks away, you can see that his clothes are torn, ripped, repaired many, many times.
Bri, I just want to say, as this is happening, Sepsis is just going to act like they've lost interest in the conversation and lean against a wall.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to start looking through Worm's eyes at this guy's setup.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for recognizing ingredients because this is your forte. But as he goes around there, roll me a low DC, roll me an investigation check.
I hope it is a low DC because I rolled a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
It's a very low DC. You, through Worm's eyes, very quickly realize that there is nothing in this cell that could potentially make a explosive or an acid. There is nothing in this cell that could help him release himself from it.
Yeah, but you know that's not what I'm interested in, though, right?
There are many, many chemicals in there that could be used for poisons, potions, and some ingredients you don't recognize at all.
Okay.
What would you like Worm to do?
I would like Worm to wait until this guy has got whatever he's getting and come back to their bars.
Okay. So, the man walks over to a separate shelf and starts taking small bottles and squinting at them in the darkness, shaking them. Some of them slosh quite quickly, very thin liquids. Some of them, there is the oily, as a thick substance kind of shaking inside the bottle. But eventually he brings 5 bottles back to Fives and holds his hands through the bar. Your masters should be happy with those. I wouldn't know if I am, because you will it so.
If he's walked back to the bars, then as Worm, I will stop being a spider and become an imp who has hands and stuff.
Okay.
And I will try and grab some interesting or potent things for my collection.
A stealth check then.
Stealth check as Worm?
Yes. Are you grabbing? You get advantage because you're invisible.
Yeah.
Are you grabbing from the ingredients shelves, or are you grabbing from the ready-made potions shelves?
Potions.
Potions. Okay.
Stealth with advantage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck it up.
Fuck my ass. That's 13, is what that is.
13.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and an 8.
It's fine. You rolled a 5.
Nice. It's all 5s today.
And there is the clink, soft clink of a bottle that you, Sepsis, pick up on because you are listening through the senses of movement. It's as if it's right next to you. The rest, however, not actively looking for it, do not seem to notice. But you manage to get 2 bottles of nondescript potion.
Thank you.
One seems to be a thin liquid, the other slightly more viscous.
Ooh, I like viscous.
This.
Good word.
Quick,
Take me-
hide it in
take-
your voluptuous folds.
It's taken me 10 minutes
Voluminous.
to remember the
Could be bug.
word.
Biscuit. While Sepsis is doing this,
Mhm.
I'm going to turn to the man and just go, can I ask, and I understand if you don't want to answer, why do they suppress your emotions? That seems to be the impression you're giving. I'm curious what happens if they do not.
I can't say. If I do say, he, and he looks at Fives, will go by his last edict and will either strike me, knock me out, or have you leave before I can disclose this harsh truth. However, suffice to say, without actually saying it, they don't want me angry.
What's your name?
Brucius,
It's nice to meet you. I'm sorry that you found yourself in such a difficult situation.
Suppose we wouldn't like you when you were angry.
in a different situation, I might find it nice to meet you. If I ever get out, I'll try and remember and see how I feel about it.
I'm afraid I'm not in a position to facilitate that, but
Don't worry, not many are. There was one, but he's been sent elsewhere. And apparently, he looks at Fives, they are working him quite hard. He's done good work. He's been gone long enough.
what was your friend's name?
Antonius.
The was from me, very much not dice.
Yep. I
Your
second
friend-
that.
Your friend is, hey, I got a reference for a change. Yay!
You're making our D&D campaign real nerdy, and I don't approve.
Yes, you do. I just go, do you know where your friend is? Just out of curiosity.
They seem to have forgotten to tell me.
Hmm.
Otherwise, of course, I would have sent a postcard.
I'm sure that you would have. And I turn to Fives and go, I was just curious about the person who could make such wonderful beings. And I pat Fives gently. I don't know how they're going to react, but I pat them.
Looking at your handiwork, you perhaps have a lot to learn from them.
And that's one of the reasons I'm interested, actually. But obviously he's human, right?
Yes.
Being what we are, it is not easy to learn new things.
No. However, have a word if you ever fancy it with your, and he holds his hands up, betters upstairs, about why only the ones without powers seem to be got rid of into shallow graves. The ones with powers disappear, but they're never got rid of.
So that's how they do it.
How they do what?
Nothing. Just interesting.
Ives turns around as he continues to speak and starts to hold his hands out and usher you all back up the hallway.
I go, thank you. Goodbye.
You haven't got a good dispel magic you can throw my way before you leave, have you?
I have a feeling that is something that would get me in a lot of trouble with Fives here.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I would know, as an alchemist, presumably that
I also
a chunk of sulfur would be something that he could use to make either an explosive or an acid, right?
You would know that.
So when Worm comes back to me with the potions, he's
Okay.
gonna grab a chunk of acid from a chunk of sulfur from one of my pockets,
Okay.
run it back through the bars, and just leave it on a shelf unobtrusively.
Okay.
I'll roll for that if you want me to.
Roll for stealth for me.
Stealth from who?
With advantage from stealth from Worm.
No. I meant stealthing from 5s or stealthing from...
It's better. It's 17.
As far as you're aware, Worm disappears and returns a few moments later, as he can fly a lot quicker than the rest of you can walk, and lands once again on your shoulder. And you feel the telepathic connection tell you that he believes he was successful.
Cool. That should be interesting.
As we're walking, can I turn to the half-elf now?
As you start to rise up the stairs, yeah.
And say, I don't know much about people like you. You are the first one I have ever met. But did the dagger treat you okay?
And the half-elf kind of rocks their head back and forth.
I don't know what normally happens to half-elves. But I suspect from the reaction of the guard that it's not usually good. So I guess the alternative is better than being dead?
They rock their head back and forth again. Very non-committal.
I wish I could ask your name.
She, still manacled.
She or he?
Oh, they.
Hey.
Still manacled. Because Fives put another pair on them when they left the cell. Pulls one of their sleeves back. And you can see burnt and then into their arm and then gone over with kind of charcoal. So it kind of darkened the scar. And you can see, what languages can you read?
Common, Dwarvish, and Gnomish. But I do have Ori. Oh, no, Dwarvish. Right, I'm there, yeah, okay.
No, it's fine. It looks like Dwarvish, but it's a kind of bastardization. It's difficult for you to read. Roll an intelligence check with your ears of...
Ah! I got a natural 20. And I think my check for intelligence is plus... +4, so 24.
Okay. There is a large, what looks like the symbol for the Dwarvish number or letter X.
Oh my god, is that next to the Z exhibit?
But potentially 10. And then a slightly more numeral base, a further X, and then 3 strikes.
Okay, what do I infer this to mean, Richard? Because while my character might be bright, I've been in the woods all day and I'm tired. What does that mean?
It means it's X to the Z exhibit and he's here to pimp your ride. Yo dog, we heard you like robot dogs, so we put a robot dog on your robot dog.
You okay? Are you having a stroke?
Have you,
Can I help
have
you
you
with
never
something?
watched Pimp My Ride?
Yeah, but not for like 10 years.
Oh, it's never left me.
You're either looking at a representation of maybe 33 done really badly, or X23 or XX13. You're not quite sure.
Okay, I go 33.
And they shake their head and just carry on walking.
X13.
Every single NPC doesn't have to be a reference to
You
something.
hear from behind. back down the hall, a very flat chuckle, and then a slightly raised voice. Roll a perception check, everyone, just to make out the words.
23 from me, and from Ace 20.
Yeah, 15 from Oriana Dvorak and 8 from Worm. And actually, I will roll for sepsis on this one. As a natural 1 for a total of 0.
Oh, sorry, what was dice and ace?
Dice was 23, Ace was 20.
Okay. You hear then, very faintly from behind, going, on second thought, it was very nice meeting you. A few minutes later, you are taken upstairs and back out, and your eyes squint in the sunlight as you've been used to the darkness below. And you see that your groups, or the groups of adventurers that you are ready or getting ready to venture forth with, have been pulled into the center of the courtyard. And the knights are waiting for you. There do appear to be a lot more humans that were not there before. They are armored slightly. They're armored slightly, and they are chained together. Most of them are armed in some fashion, bows, swords, daggers, but they are all chained together in like a...
Sounds like they're going to get armed a lot worse. Do you see what I did there, Rich?
Mm-hmm.
You can't take my inspiration away, I've still got it.
They are chained together in a kind of work gang formation.
Not the humans. Nice.
Operation Get Behind the Humies.
Lovely. It's always so nice to see meat shields like myself being put to proper use.
In fairness, they don't seem to intend to use you as a meat shield.
At your words, Fives looks at you quizzically, kind of cocks his head.
I look at him and go, sarcasm. It's okay.
He points up at the wall nearby, and you see there is like a large shield, kind of fresco carved into the wall. And then he points at you, but then points at himself and kind of punches his chest twice. And then points at the shield again.
You're the shield, huh?
He nods.
Well, make sure you protect those who really need it.
And he points at you. Points at Oriana. Points at Sepsis.
I have my hand up.
Points at Ace. And then points at the floor just behind him.
We stand behind you.
And then he hits his chest twice more.
You're sweet, Vibes.
And he continues to walk out into the courtyard, pulling the half-elf behind him.
I waved to the half-elf. Feeling kind of sad.
Are you going with them?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was taking them away, not... Right, yeah, okay, I'm there.
The half-elf is taken to the Durgar and is deposited in the middle of the group again. And at the front of the party, the front of the large group of people, you do see that the two knights are standing there, flanked again by by Rex and Wolf. And Fives goes and takes their place, or takes its place among them. Now you are all here, I believe a little bit of explanation about where we are going is in order. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Londinium below, but it is the only way we can get to the we believe is the only known entrance to the Underdark in these parts. The Drow, in their mission to thwart us, have closed most entrances. However, below there is a Zorn, or perhaps 2 or 3, that have made their nest below Londinium, and they have punched through an old tunnel that was closed to us. Now, though, we must travel through a strange and ancient part of the city that none live in anymore to get to the Zorn nest.
Can I very quietly turn to Sepsis and go, "What's a Zorn?"
What's a Zorn?
You want to roll the nature check?
Do I? Yes.
Do any of you?
Oh, I know nature. Nature's... Oh, no, I don't. 14.
Seriously, the dice love me. Eventually,
Ellie, can you give my dice the other half of their numbers back, please?
I got the 20 again. It's my second nat 20 today. I got 24 for nature.
I've rolled 2 nat 1s today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually using
You
2.
literally sapped my fucking luck.
It's the set you gave me. If that helps.
Oh. Yeah, but still, give it back.
No. 24.
Okay. You rack your memory, you rack your brain, you search every memory you have, and because it did not pertain to your favorite subjects, which were engineering, magic, it kind of passed you by, but you seem to recollect being taught about elemental creatures. Not beasts, but things born from the earth, the air themselves. This one in particular, you remember because it was such a strange name, but it appears to be a huge burrowing rock creature, living rock, that is very, very difficult to attack, to kill, but if left alone, tends to leave the fleshier folk alone as well. It's very good at creating tunnels, and very good at remaining unseen until it wants to be.
Okay, I go, maybe don't touch the zone and leave it at that.
It's also reported to be huge.
I look at dice with open shock on my face at the very implication that anyone else in the group has to be told not to touch things.
I very gently kick Sepsis in the ankle.
I fall to the ground.
Yeah, agony. Sorry.
You can see that everyone else has gone silent as they're kind of looking at you.
Oh no, you fell down. Can I help you up?
No, that's okay, thank you.
Be warned, as you travel below, that this ancient part of the city has not been lived in for quite some time. Londinium itself, as you see it now, was built over the wreckage of a very old, ancient human settlement. This settlement is, as far as we can tell for now, populated by nothing but the spirits of the past. Before we, as a race, taught others to harness the spiritual energy and protect areas from ghosts and ghouls. This is a deconsecrated place. The spirits of the past can harm you here. Be careful, watch others in your group, and it is my hope that we will reach the Underdark with as many in our party as we have here now.
Spooky.
Inspiring.
Spooky.
I do not mean to be inspiring. I find being forewarned is forearmed. But anyway, let us take you to the entrance into Londinium below. And they turn and stalk off, and all the groups start to head after them.
Okay.
I'm just desperately trying. Every time this guy speaks, I'm desperately trying not to say now this is pod racing. You can't possibly know how much it's killing me.
As we're walking, I would like to turn to Sepsis, Ace, and Ori and go, you know, I'm starting to think maybe this might have been a bad plan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, spectral things that want to kill us before we even get into the Underdark. No, that's fine.
I mean, you can get us killed. You've tried to get us killed on a train. Nowhere's safe with you.
Do you want me to kick you again?
No, it really fucking hurt.
Then stop being so dramatic. One time, one fucking box, one... Don't make me make Cedric stalk you, because I will.
You made us go in that cave as well.
That cave. Oh, well, we saved the girl.
Yes, that's one way of remembering it.
That wasn't my fault. We went back because we could see that was where the girl had gone.
Yep.
As
And there was a
you
thing in
all-
there that wanted to kill us, wasn't there?
As you all are heading off to the side of one of the courtyards, you can see a large crane contraption holding what appears to be a huge metal and wooden cage suspended above a hole in the ground. And as you're all heading towards it, one of the elves that you saw earlier, hooded, standing in shadows, kind of moves past you all and just says, "Your servants are very familiar with you, aren't they?"
Yes.
Who says that?
One of the elves. And just stalks off past you, quickens their pace, and moves up to join the larger group.
I look at Dice and say, "See, and now you're embarrassing me in front of the elves."
I don't like that elf. And more importantly, I'm going in to fight for these people, and they still can't treat me like a person. So I think on this occasion, I will continue to speak my mind. Because, absolved.
But you have to understand they were raised in a different time. It's different for them.
That doesn't make it okay, and you know that.
Interesting.
As you all then move towards the wooden cage that's suspended above the hole in the ground, the lines of humans are moved on first. The chains connecting them all together are given to Fives, Rex, and Wolf. And as they all step on, a door slides in out of view, and the cage starts to descend into the hole.
Oh, good. Another lift.
It won't be long before the cage returns and we can descend as well, but our shields are being sent down first.
I'm looking directly at him and looking quite pissed.
Roll an insight check.
Yay, return to form. 2.
He doesn't seem to notice.
That's fine.
And maybe 5 minutes later, you can see that the rope starts to move back up again. And in no time at all, the cage is presented to you empty once more.
Are we next
Well,
in?
shall we?
No.
Let's.
The cage looks large enough that it will fit you all. The orcs step on first. They go to one of the back corners. The Durgar and the halflings seem to go to one of the other back corners, but the halflings try and keep as far away as they can. It seems that only the Durgar want to go anywhere near the half-elf.
I'm quite happy to wander in and stand near the Durgar. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I'm much more concerned about how close I am to Cedric.
Cedric is following you quite closely.
Yeah, I shuffle as far away from Cedric as I can get.
There's not that much room in the cage, unfortunately.
Well, apparently the halflings were able to distance themselves from the half-elf.
They're very small.
Sepsis.
Yo.
A lot smaller than sepsis. But as you step on, then the two knights step on last, sticking closer to the other two elves, but not standing right next to them. The cage shuts, and they start to descend. It starts to descend once more.
All right, I'm going to put on my dark vision goggles as we descend, and I encourage Ace to do the same.
Haha, Ace, you look like a dork.
Ace just kind of blushes in the low light that's almost disappearing.
Ace is sadly offended.
But after about 5 minutes, again, you do feel it kind of crunch into the bottom. You're in a large chamber. The humans chained and the 3 automatons are still standing there. There seems to be a old door, what looks like a mine door.
Rich,
Yeah.
these humans, are they powered humans or are they standard humans? Like from what I can see.
From what you can see, they look to be malnourished, pale from being inside for quite a while. Make a perception check. Perception or medicine.
Regular folk.
I trusted the same dice again, and clearly the luck has in fact failed me because I then rolled a 6.
Okay.
I'm still rolling 1, so you haven't fucking returned it to me.
Well, I thought maybe I had. I tried.
What'd you roll?
What do you mean, what do I want? I just rolled a 6.
So what did you roll?
Oh,
Alright.
6. I said 6, sorry.
Okay. From what you can see, you can't tell whether any of them actually have any powers. They're all men, every single one of them. The chains on them look relatively new and strong. A lot of them seem to be currently rubbing their wrists, and their wrists look almost torn up, heavily scarred, but covered in blisters and sores, as if they've recently had manacles removed that they've been wearing for a very long time.
Nice.
They look like prisoners.
Yeah, I was going to say they look like prisoners. Okay. There's not a lot I can do with that.
Please, before we, or the younger one steps forward, before we venture in to Londinium below, who are the leaders of all of your small little groups?
I look at dice.
Whoa. Interesting.
Oriana raises her hand.
Or he's still pissed at me, that seems fair.
You see one of the female half-orcs raise their hand, one of the halflings raises their hand, one of the Durgar, the two elves separately. I have these for you then. And he takes a sack from his side and pulls out what look like very smooth pebbles of quartz. And he starts to hand one out to each person who said they're a leader. I know some of you may not want to work together. However, I can see no reason why you shouldn't. If you wish to go off on your own, we are scouting the Zorn. This is a strange city below, and if you find Zorn, find tracks of them, basically you can communicate with us through these stones. The range of them is not infinite, so try and keep within hearing distance if you can, but if you need to be quiet and the stones are within range, then you can communicate with someone.
Can you be more specific about the range?
Maybe 500 feet.
Maybe 500 feet or 500 feet? It seems important. 500
feet out in the open. As you will see when we go through those doors, there's not very much out in the open down here.
Reception's not great down here, I see.
That's it. I enjoy that way of putting it. Yes, reception's not great down here. I like that.
Good.
What was your name again?
Sepsis. What's yours?
Sorry?
Sepsis. What's yours?
My name is Anne King.
Fuck off.
That's clearly directed at you, Richard, and I
I know.
throw things at you.
Lovely name.
Sorry.
Doesn't make you sound like a child murderer at all.
There's an almost silent G in there. It's an Anne King.
Ang Kane.
Yes, but the G is silent.
And cool. I'll remember it.
Good. You should. I'm the one who's going to vouch for you when we get out.
Yes, and you seem like the type of person we can expect big things from.
I don't like to toot my own horn, so to speak, but...
Don't you?
Why? What have you heard?
Tooting.
Anyway, Master, and the older one kind of just looking bemused at this entire conversation and standing behind him. Yes, very well. We can leave now. Please be careful. And if you need us, we will come. We're all in this together, remember.
What team? No one said Wildcats, and I'm very disappointed in all of you.
I'm very sorry.
This is a British stream, Greg.
I don't give a shit. You said we're all in this together. If you expect me not to make that a High School Musical thing, you are naive.
Do you know what?
I honestly have to stop myself saying Wildcats. I was like, when you said it, I was like,
Yep.
Okay. So, the automatons make their way forward. They open the large gate, and it kind of shifts up on two chains into the ceiling above it. And there is a dark, or what would be dark tunnel, for those of you without dark vision, stretching out into the distance. As everyone makes their way into it, it's about 20 feet wide, 20 feet tall. The walls are wet, but they are not rough stone. They are brick. This seems to be quite a well-made tunnel. Akin to, and you remember it from before, in the ruins you've been in, and the train station that you pulled into in Londinium. It seems to be the tunnel that would lead into or out of the keep. And as you finally get to the end of the tunnel, you do just glance back and realize that a long time ago, perhaps, this was the tunnel into the walls of the keep. The keep, however, seems to have had the ground almost try and swallow it up. Rough stone cliff walls or cavernous walls seem to meld or mold themselves around. The keep walls, some of them are broken, the stones lying splayed on the floor about you. Dice, an ace, and Oriana. You can see maybe 60 feet ahead. There are ruins, what look like old, made from perhaps wood, some kind of brick, plaster. There's a Waltland door kind of wall to one side that may have been at some point a pig pen. However, sepsis, you can see up to almost the ceiling above. You can see a lot more buildings than the rest of them can. There are streets that run to and fro, far off into the distance, out of your eyesight, out of as far as you can see. There are two-story buildings. You can see what appears to be a tavern, maybe a school, some shops, a marketplace off to the left, all in complete disarray, covered in dust. Some seem to have formed strange kind of rock formations as the sorry. You can see some have a cling tightly, might get there. Stalactites have grown so far from the ceilings above that they seem to be now trying to incorporate themselves into the structures in front of you. You can see huge pillars of wet stone holding the ceiling up above you, making this entire town take on a very strange, unreal aspect. And as you step out into the city, everyone roll a perception check for me.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Both my dice have gone back to normal. It's really sad. My perception check was a 7 and Ace's was 14.
8 for Oriana and 12 for Sepsis.
Maybe I used all their luck. I'll use a different dice.
And I
What
guess
was Ace again?
14.
3.
What was dice?
7.
Okay. Ace then, especially because of her their paladin nature, stares off into the distance and does just catch shifting through a window in one of the buildings, just at the very far range of their vision, a glowing figure that as soon as they catch it in their eye line, disappears in the same instant.
Yeah, can I use Divine Sense, please?
You
Or
can.
please use Divine Sense.
You can.
Thank you. It's only within 60 feet, though, so I don't know how well it's going to do, but I figure if they can see them, they're probably within 60 feet.
In a full circle around Ace, from every single direction, there is the faintest touch of undeath.
Yeah.
Nothing within 60 feet, but it seems to be just at the edge of their sense. There seems to be an undead energy radiating from this place.
Okay.
And as you all step out into the town and the group starts to break up and split and make their separate ways through, a horrendous, horrific, terrifying wail seems to echo from every direction. But originates
fucking hell, how'd they get a whale down here?
But originates from far off in the distance.
You see what I have to work with?
Are you...
It's even worse when I'm the only other one here.
Where are you going? How are you going to progress into the town?
I should probably take the lead. You guys can't see very far.
The orcs... Okay, the orcs are going left. The Durgar and the half-elf is going right. The halflings and the 2 elves seem to be making their way straight forward, further on into the town, before the halflings branch off left and the 2 elves branch off right at different times. The knights and their guards and at least 10 humans wait until everyone else has walked off and, taking very little notice of you, but nodding a little as they make their way into the town, head off in a separate direction down a side street.
Didn't 5 suggest we should stay behind them?
If that's what you inferred from his actions, then yes.
Is it what I inferred from his actions?
I don't know. Roll a retroactive insight check.
My insight check was...
10?
Oh, I didn't roll one on that.
10?
10.
Yeah, that's what you inferred from his actions.
I don't like the sound of that.
What you inferred from Fives' actions was that he was telling you that he would shield you.
We should probably follow 5's. He seemed competent.
I think it might be wise to pick a separate street, only because that's what the rest did, and we don't want to seem weaker than them.
I don't mind seeming weaker than them if we come out more alive than them. But I thought all the streets were taken anyway.
Was there any direction that wasn't taken?
There are a few other side streets. As Oriana checks their compass, there is a side street to the northwest. There is one further east.
Maybe the northwest?
I don't understand what it is you have against being shielded by a big automaton. I thought you liked that kind of thing.
The chains of people they're also using. I don't really fancy it.
I mean, I didn't know you were so anti-human. That seems very strange for you.
I'm not. I'm anti-human death.
Uh-huh. So, if we were with them, wouldn't we have a better chance to prevent that than if we were off on our own in a little side street?
Define a good point. We followed the automatons.
I'm full of those.
Yes.
They've disappeared out of sight by now, by the time it's taken you to make this decision. But you remember which street they walked down. And you head off.
You're going to make me jog to catch up, aren't you? I've only got little legs.
I
You
stick
head off.
you up and jogs.
You head off into the darkness. And that is where we're going to take a break.
Woo!
Yay!
As
really
they
need a wee.
head into the cavernous catacombs of old Londinium. Yes, so as we take a break and everyone goes and sorts themselves out. Thanks for that, Greg. Please remember that while we're here, we're only going to be gone for about 10-15 minutes. While we are gone, please check out the donate button below. If you haven't already, go check out more information about the 48-hour charity live stream we have coming up at the end of August. It's going to be awesome. At some point, I will force my players to actually make the characters for the one shot I'm running. Until then, though, thanks for joining us for part 1. Please stick around. We will be back very soon for part 2.
Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of episode 33 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Thank you for still being here. I can see the number hasn't actually gone down. If anyone's changed over, great. I'm kind of hoping, during the break, you went to have a look at the Charity 48-hour live stream that we've been plugging. If you didn't get a chance, please do so after the stream, or, open a second window and jump on there, because it's for a great cause, or 3 great causes, and we're all really, really looking forward to it. Because some of us should have been LARPing that weekend and can't now. So, gonna give back with the time that we have. But yes, on to episode 33. So, you make your way into the alleyway or the street that you saw the 2 Elven knights and their entourage walk down. Unfortunately, the street is empty, it is clear. They seem to have run off ahead, as it were. Do you want to try and follow
them? Well, if we work out which way they've gone, that's a start. Can I see tracks or anything showing where they've gone?
Okay. Roll me a survival check, please.
That's cocked. That's worse. I don't want your ball. Take it away. I don't even know why I'm bothering looking. 9. I rolled a 2.
Unfortunately, the rubble and debris on the floor around you, there's a lot of mold down here as well. There seems to be quite a lot of fungal growth everywhere. It's all broken from the many different tracks of some small, some large creatures that have been through here quite recently, and unfortunately the tracks of your companions, of the people you're trying to find, are mixed in among them, and it's very difficult to determine which direction they headed.
Right, Sepsis has lost interest in where they've gone and is trying to work out what's holding up the ceiling, just so you're aware.
Okay. Roll me a nature check then, please.
Nature check, you say? Okay. 19.
Okay. With then your knowledge of the natural world, you can see that it does appear to be that this place is ancient. Some of the buildings around you seem to be what once was a plaster wall is now entirely made of some strange alien fungus that you've never seen before. The pillars that once held some of the awnings or ceilings above have been replaced with almost fossilized wood, stone. And that stone has lent itself, or seems to have drawn, stalactites towards it. And now the ceiling itself seems to be held up by nothing but naturally formed stone columns.
Wow.
Some of the... Roll me a perception check.
Love to.
Go on, Sepsis.
17.
17. Yay! You can see above you then, the ceiling of this room. The bits that are just inside your 120 feet sight. Some bits stretch much higher than you can see, and it is just pits of darkness above you. But the parts of the ceiling that you can see are stone and wood. It appears that these caverns are artificial. These were made. These stone columns, while looking like natural formations, now that you can see what they come from, seem to have been shaped with magic of some sort.
Wow, the whole city above could just fall in here if someone sabotaged these columns.
I know you had fun previously collapsing things, but maybe now is not the time while we're still in here.
I didn't say I was going to do it. I said,
it's possible.
If someone...
Roll me an investigation check, Samson.
I was going to say, what's the structural integrity of these columns? Could I roll against it?
Roll an investigation check, please.
Okay, I think I rolled a 21.
I can't remember what my investigation score is.
Oh no, I didn't. I rolled an 18. Sorry, I don't have proficiency in investigation.
20.
20. Dice. Sepsis is absolutely right. If one or more of these columns in very particular places were collapsed or broken, or their structure was kind of weakened in some way, then large parts of the city below could come down. Sepsis, not the ones near to you, but the ones that you can see off in the distance, they may be thin enough to be affected in a way that may cause a chain reaction. You're not absolutely sure. Perhaps a bit
Wouldn't
more
want to get in
research
the middle of that.
Maybe a bit more research needs to be done, but...
Millie, did you just shake your head at me because of my excellent Bangles reference?
Yes.
Okay. Right, also, I wrote it down. I didn't want to interrupt you because the description you were giving was so lovely, but you said the words "some strange alien fungus," so I hope you know there's some of that in my inventory now.
Okay. So you've gathered some of it up, yeah?
Oh, I certainly did.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck
No,
it.
I'm joking. I'm
Wait.
joking. I am actually joking because it would be poison and you're immune. So don't
Yeah,
worry about
exactly.
it. Roll me another nature check then, just for...
Yay! 1.
1. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean 6, but
You've never come across fungus like this before. As you try and peel it away from the walls, it comes away in sheets. Almost as thin as parchment. But you can see from the underside of these sheets that it is very obviously a type of mushroom. It's just large, flat, circular mainly. It's not too, the shapes are not too malformed. But the sheet that you pulled away is almost as thin as parchment and almost as tough as parchment as well. Directly underneath, you can now see that the wall itself is almost as thin and brittle. The fungus has eaten all the way through the structure. The only thing currently keeping this wall up and in one piece is the fungus. If you were to take more away than the small sheet that you've got now, the wall may fall.
I won't.
It is, however, the wall of a one-story building. The roof has long ago degraded and collapsed and can be seen in the debris around your feet.
Stop trying to tempt me, Satan. I'm not taking any more of the shrooms.
Okay. But you attempt to put it into one of your many pockets, and it does, in fact, roll and keep its integrity as it rolls up into almost a kind of scroll as you slide it into one of your pockets in your robes.
Fungus scroll. Yummy.
Yes, I haven't quite determined whether it's edible yet.
Just lick one end of it.
Definitely do not do that.
It's for Oriana later on.
Forbidden blunt.
So...
Right, can I see any signs that show that... What are we following? What are they called again? I keep forgetting the names.
The automatons and the knights.
No. The creatures we're actually looking for.
Zorns.
Zorns. It sounds like something from the computer game Creatures.
I always think Neil before Zorn, personally. But...
Can I see any signs of the Zorns passing through here recently? I know I've already rolled a survival check, but I was looking for specific prints for the automatons.
Roll me another survival check then, please.
Thank you. You're a kind and benevolent DM. Well, that is almost as bad as the previous one. That is now a 7. I give up.
Okay. And unfortunately, there do not seem to be any marks of burrowing or tunnels.
Oh, sorry, it's actually 10. I was looking at nature, not survival. I've got +7.
Yeah, no burrowing, no tunnels to speak of, which you know is the way that Zorn tend to move from your lessons when you were younger. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any passage that would show a Zorn had been around any time recently. Anyway.
I pick a random direction and go, let's go that way.
Seems good enough to me.
Let's go. It's a random direction, Rich. Pick which direction I'm going. That way.
All right. At the end of the street that you've walked down now, there are 3 directions you can go. You can carry on going straight, left, or right.
Any preference?
Nope.
All right. Right.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I rolled the dice.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Cool. Okay. As you go right, then the entire city seems to get quieter. You can hear, maybe just off in the distance, the passage of one of the bands of adventurers that have followed you and come with you. You now appear to be in, from what you can see in front of you, off in the distance, there is an old and broken fountain. Quite an archaic design, not stylized. There are no statues or carvings on it. It seems to be purely functional. Around it, though, you do see many buildings, some of which, again, have been taken over by the nature of the cavern you're in. Others are more obviously dwellings. Most, though, seem to have collapsed a long time ago, and all you can see is the bottoms of the walls, or in some aspects, the foundations of the buildings themselves. It has got deathly quiet.
Would you say that it's too quiet?
Almost.
I'm going to send Worm up.
Okay.
I'll send him about 50 feet up and see what he can see.
To see what he can see.
Okay. You see, well, roll me a perception check for Wim.
You get any advantage from his elevated position?
He's got 120 feet dark vision. Yeah, go on then.
Ah, you're a good lad. He got a 17.
17.
17.
Okay. And all right. I would like actually, what you can see then off in the distance, quite close to the fountain, are 2 grey-skinned humanoid ships. They seem to be crouched low near the fountain, and they are moving very slowly.
Towards us?
No, they just seem to be shuffling in no particular direction, but at the moment they are crouched, almost prone.
And they're ahead of us?
They are. Would you like to see the map to work out where they are?
Sure.
Okay, give me a second.
I mean, I can already see the map, but...
I can see the map, but the people at home can't see the map. Although saying that, we're also the people at home.
Yeah, we are at home.
So it's all just at home. Everything's at home.
Chronically at home, I would say.
At home, so at home. Zadie put
Although I did have my longest drive since lockdown began on Friday.
How was that?
Well, we went to pick up our new baby from Cardiff.
Noodle, right?
Fuck off.
My stream is very behind where it actually is.
I don't have the stream open.
I sometimes have it open just to keep an eye on what's going on and whatever.
I used to have it open in the beginning, but I found I would watch the stream instead of watching you guys on Zoom, and everything was weird.
I've actually just got the chat up on the right, but that's why I couldn't tell. Ah, thank you. We like the physical map too. It's got some very nice stuff that Rich got for his birthday last year or for Christmas from Dwarven Forge as well.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Very, very fancy.
It was very expensive. You're not getting any more.
Bro, can Worm fly a little closer to see what they look like and what they're up to?
Absolutely, you can. Is he invisible?
Yeah, of course he is.
Okay. So, Worm flies in a little closer.
That wasn't worth getting up.
He can't help himself. We need those headphones. Don't you dare bark.
They appear to be. You can see them now near the fountain. They appear to be grey-skinned, emaciated. The skin is hanging off their bodies, but it does not look decayed. You have previously seen a walking corpse way back when the unfortunate humans who got the crystal sickness that you met in the forest tried to attack you and woke up as zombies the next morning. And it's been a while since you've seen them, but these seem to be more whole than the others.
More sorry?
More whole, more solid.
Oh, right.
They're not missing any limbs. They don't seem to have horribly decaying scars. The grey pallor of their skin is constant from head to foot. It is not blackening or decaying in any patches or anything. These seem to be creatures unlike those. But
Reg?
Yeah.
How far away is Ace, roughly? I tried to count and it didn't help. And can Ace see them, first of all?
Ace can see them. Ace is out in front, as they always are, sorry. And Ace can see them.
Is Ace, how far away? Oh, 60 feet then, right.
Maybe within 60 feet.
Okay, Ace is going to burn another Divine Sense.
Okay.
Oof, flying through those.
Well, they refresh every long rest, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
Divine Sense looking for, well, you know what Divine Sense does.
Okay. Directly in front of you then, there are two undead creatures. And they flare up in Ace's vision, and she can see, or they can see, that there are two undead auras around those two creatures. However, there appears to be also quite a large undead presence approaching from behind.
Okay.
And there are also singular undead presences, maybe hidden by some of these outcroppings, some of these buildings.
Okay.
In a couple of different directions, small singular undead presences.
Okay, fine.
If you want for Ace's vantage point.
I don't think he's going to hear me say this, but if they're behind total cover, he doesn't have to tell me where they are.
They're not.
Oh, he can hear us. What do you know?
Just. There is one.
I wonder if everything we can see on the map is actually there, or if it's another fucking fake map like the last time.
There is one
Yeah,
here.
the walls are going to move then.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a secret wall there. We'll try and move 15 foot forward. You'll be like, nope, there's a wall.
Give me a second. I'll just.
I don't know where he's gone now.
He's fucking with the map.
Never fuck with the map.
Oh, now we're all out of screen.
Way too far.
Yep.
The downside of physical maps, guys.
You can see Cedric in front there.
Fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Can Ace spin round and look behind them?
Ace can. So he spins around.
What's coming up to the rear?
Looks behind. Nothing that Ace can see.
Okay.
It was just on the edge of the divine sense, but it appeared to be such a strong undead force that it was kind of radiating in front of it. It's just moving towards you, almost chasing you.
Ace is going to turn to Sepsis and the rest of the group and say, there are a lot of undead. I nearly did the accent, it's Ace. There are a lot of undead nearby, but there's a big one coming up from behind, but it's out of my vision, I can't see. Sepsis, can you see?
Probably not.
It's bigger, and it's coming.
I'll send Worm back that way.
Okay. Worm then flies back. Can you roll me a stealth check for Worm, please?
Advantage?
Pardon?
Advantage for being invisible?
Give me a moment.
If you're looking at Zorn, they have tremor sense, but I don't know how that applies to something that's flying.
No advantage.
Okay. In that case, it is a 16, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, 16.
That's 16. Nothing appears to have followed Worm's flight. As Worm then moves behind you, the further away from you they get, the closer they get to where you first entered this part of the city, the keep. Worm's vision comes back to you, and it's some strange swirling vortex of necrotic energy, and it seems to be moving very slowly, but in your general direction.
Sepsis shuffles into the middle of the pack.
What?
There's like a vortex thing.
What do you mean a vortex?
I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a bunch of necrotic stuff coming towards us from behind.
Okay, so our options are, just so I have this straight, necrotic vortex coming from that direction, or dead things in this direction.
Uh-huh.
It's nice
Dead things. We've previously coped with dead things pretty handily.
Dead things it is. Let's start with that, but there's no guarantee the vortex is not going to catch up with us.
Pretty sure our shiny friend here eats dead things for breakfast.
Ace flashes.
I meant bacon.
No, well, that's true. Is there a way we can get around without facing either of these, or is this a narrow street and we have no choice?
There are collapsed buildings on each side. You can try and move through one, but Ace, even though the divine sense is now fallen, Ace does remember that there is a undead presence, though invisible right now, just off an alleyway to the right. And if you continue on, the first alleyway to the left has an undead presence in it as well.
Right. Okay. Maybe we take the one down the alleyway and hope that we can hide down there while the vortex passes, so we're only facing one, and maybe it won't find us?
That's a pretty big maybe.
Right, but...
How fast is it moving, Bray?
Maybe 5 feet around.
I think our best bet is to try and stay ahead of it rather than to try and hide from it.
It is about 50 feet across.
It's about 50 feet across.
Fuck me. Okay.
No.
I'm not interested, but thanks. Perhaps... Right, let's fight our way through the undead things and try and get down the road faster then.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Bray, you know everything we can see on the map, is it real, or are you...
Yes.
Okay.
That
In
would
that
start.
No, I'm asking because if that's the case, then Sepsis is going to go up top there, up those steps, and I think Oriana will come too.
Okay. So what's the plan before I start moving everyone?
Right. Ace is going to move forward to attempt to engage. Right. There's one down the alley to the left. I can't see where all the people are. I'm being blind here.
Okay, give me a second.
One down the alley to the left, there's one over to the right, and then there's two by the fountain.
Yeah, but it's not clear since you moved the map.
All right, this is where you all are.
Yeah, we can't see that. You need to move the map up a little bit again. You moved it too far down.
I mean, we're all just, yeah, there.
Right, fine.
Presents here.
Yeah.
Presents here.
Yeah.
Two things there.
You didn't say there were presents. Oh, I want presents.
Love presents.
Yeah, they're my favourite.
I love a present.
So you, what do you want to do?
Sepsis
Ace
and
is-
Oriana are both going up those steps to our left.
Okay.
Ace is going to walk forward, not particularly subtly, to try and catch the attention of at least the one down to the right and to draw
Okay.
them out.
Okay.
Cedric will go with them. Dice will hang back because bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So. Sepsis and Oriana. Okay. And is everyone else moving stealthily, or are you being as blasé as Ace?
Healthy.
I'm trying to be stealthy, as is Cedric, but Cedric is also not exceptionally stealthy, so.
Okay.
No,
I need
Cedric's going
everyone.
with Ace, so no.
I need everyone apart from Ace and Cedric to roll for stealth, please.
Ori would have Oriana. Ori would have Oriana. No, Ori would have advantage.
Why would you have advantage?
He's got the Cloak of Elven on.
That's okay, I rolled 2 18s.
I got 11. I missed my cloak.
I have rolled 19 for Oriana and 18 for Sepsis.
And what? Sorry, what was yours? That's
11.
okay. So. That's Ace and Cedric move forward. You do sense a stirring from the alleyway to the right. And
A stirring speech?
Nope.
A stirring hymn?
Stirring of motion, sorry, as a bright incorporeal form
Uh-oh.
comes into existence before your very eyes and starts to move out of the ambit towards Ace. However, everyone gets a surprise round, so apart from Ace and Cedric.
Incorporeal, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm looking at. Oh, earlier when you asked what languages I speak, it would actually have to be Ace reading it off the arm because Dice does not speak Dwarven. Ace does.
That's fine. Let's say it was Ace.
I rolled the intelligence check again.
Sepsis, do you have anything what you or Oriana would like to do?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I would like to, for my bonus action, I would like to cast Hex on the incorporeal Ujumi, what's it,
Okay.
over to the right of the map.
Okay.
So it be hexed.
Okay. So. It is hexed.
Yep, and I will choose because I can choose an ability that it gets disadvantage with checks to use that ability.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose Wisdom, I guess.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Of course you are. Go for it. Roll for attack.
We don't have advantage because we're not. It doesn't know we're there, does it? Do we, or is it?
What, a surprise round?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing.
You get advantage because it's a surprise.
Excellent. So, first roll is 21.
21.
Yes, 21. Is that a hit?
21, yeah, 21 hits, 1 damage.
Second bolt is 27. So, I'm guessing that does hit.
It does.
Cool. Let's do some damage. 2 of those. 2 of those. That is 4, 8. 14, 17 plus 4 both times. Maths. 27.
27 points of damage.
No,
Fantastic.
25.
25 points of damage. That's fine. Excellent. And Oriana?
Yes, Oriana would like to fling. Sorry. I think we'll go with a first level chromatic orb.
Okay.
This one. And we will go for... Well, it's Oriana, so let's say fire damage, shall we?
Yeah. Why not?
Those are sepsis dice, don't use those. Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Natural.
Nice. Okay. And roll for damage.
Shall. So it's 3d8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only got 3d8, so... Oh, actually, no, I haven't. I don't like rolling and then doubling the dice. I much prefer to roll a stupid number of dice.
Which is fine
Still
until
missing one.
roll a 1.
Boom. 6, 13, 18, fucking hell, 26, 30, 36 damage.
36 points of damage. Okay.
36 points of fire damage. Bri, would you like me to roll a wild magic surge?
I really would, yes.
Yeah. I have been rolling lots of 1s today, so it's a 3. We're safe.
It's a 3, okay. So, the 2 force bolts fly from you at almost the same instant as the chromatic orb leaves Oriana. They fly forward, your bolts striking, taking chunks of incorporeal flesh. Part of its being just seems to be wiped away, as if wiping chalk from a blackboard. From the force bolts. However, when the fire hits it, it burns, but the fire is doused quite quickly, as if it resisted some of that damage.
Boo.
It does, however, seem to be finding it difficult to sustain itself. There is very little of its form left. It is looking messed up.
Hey, Bri,
Yeah.
just before the turn ends, is there a kind of check I can roll to know if Sepsis would know enough to not keep looking at it after they've flung that? It being some sort of ghosty.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay,
Don't look at it.
only 15.
It does seem to be terrifying.
Sepsis is going to turn their face away and also tell Oriana, don't look at it.
Okay.
Back in time.
Surprise round. Dice, what do you want to do?
So I am actually going to hold Fairy Fire until the other two notice the combat and move in. I'm aiming to get all three of them that I can see within a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
So everyone moves in to hopefully attack Ace. If it doesn't happen, the spell fizzles, I get that. But
Well, it's a surprise ring. So after this, I'll be asking you to roll initiative, but if you want to hold the surprise...
I want to hold the surprise.
Okay.
Because there's no point me using it until they're close enough to actually take it, and I don't know if my arrows are going to hit a ghost. I don't know enough, so I don't want to risk wasting it for no reason. Although it is magic arrows.
It's up to you.
No, I'm going to hold Fairy Fire.
Okay, cool. So if that's correct, then I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Don't suck. Not terrible. Oh, Ace is so much better than me. Oh, they've got
Don't develop an inferiority thing about the character you're Jaegering. That's terrible.
Ace has advantage on initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Septus?
13.
Oriana?
13.
Ace?
20.
Dice.
12.
So, the ghost goes first.
Okay.
Okay, so the ghost is going to then is going to attempt to move into Ace's form. I'm going to need a charisma saving throw from Ace.
Ace is charismatic as fuck. This is going to be fine.
Ace actually is charismatic.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
I apologize. Oh no, it is a charisma saving throw. I was reading the
We're
wrong one.
basically an all charisma party and dice.
Yeah.
Charisma saving throw is going to be 18.
18. You see the ghostly form try and kind of sink into Ace's body, but Ace just kind of screams and chuckles at it, and it is forced back out. There we go. Okay, and it just reappears in its slightly broken form right next to Ace. It is Ace's go.
Okay. So this thing looks messed up. That's a good start. I just want to make sure I understand what I'm doing. Sorry about this. 1 second.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm going to cast Searing Smite.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Yeah. Well, that's just, yeah. You don't roll to attack on Searing Smite, but you do with the sword afterwards. Which is going to be... Other people's characters are so confusing. Long sword of warning, and it's going to be 20 to hit.
20 definitely hits.
So it's 1d4 plus 4 and the 1d6 for Searing Smite.
Yes.
Third. So that's going to be...
You say Searing Smite, are you doing fire damage?
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Ace doesn't know any better.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen it particularly. I should have gone with Divine Smite, which would have been much better, but there we go. Whatever, I've done it now. 12 damage.
12 damage. As the sword then swings out wide and strikes through the ghost, the form itself completely burns up and disappears with a chilling howl. And the ghost is dead.
It was actually 15 damage, but it doesn't matter.
Is that the end of Ace's go?
Yeah, I think so. As I can see. Yeah, because that's bonus action and action. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It is now. There we go. So, one of the grey creatures that was crouching down next to the fountain turns and starts to run straight towards Cedric.
It's fallen down those stairs now.
Hmm?
I said it's fallen down those stairs now. Just ran across thin air like Wile E. Coyote.
It's a broken, collapsed roof. It's all flat.
Oh, there's clearly stairs going down. I can see them.
There's no stairs. It's a broken formation of.
So you lied when you said everything we can see was actually real.
Wait, what looks like stairs?
Like the. Oh, it is a
Don't
roof.
even
No,
stare.
okay, sorry. It looked like stairs because I can only see like one half of it. No, you're right. That's my bad.
So it attempts to strike Cedric. However, you were holding an action until it came into range. So.
Yeah, are the two within 20 feet of each other?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Then I'm gonna do a cube centered on to cover both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, for the benefit of people watching, read out Fairy Fire for me.
Fairy fire. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Your choice. Green. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius, and any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it.
Excellent. Okay.
And they can't benefit from being invisible if there's anything hidden.
So they are outlined in.
No, I need a dex save from both. If they were shuffling, I'm thinking it might go okay.
Okay, the furthest one away saves.
Rude.
The one closest to you fails and is now outlined in a bright green glow.
Nailed it. Okay. That's all I was holding. No, because I hold my action,
You just hold that, so that
and
goes off.
Cedric moves as part of my. Oh, you don't get a bonus action on a surprise round. No, it's fine. Carry on.
That's cool. So it's going to make an attack against Cedric.
Okay.
It slashes at Cedric with his claws. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
Ace is going to use protection to give it disadvantage on the attack.
Okay. So that's going to be all right. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
It actually might still hit. Cedric is not Butch. Hang on. Sorry about this. The internet's going really slowly. I wonder why. Because Cedric is under extras. Oh no, his AC 16. It misses. Yay!
Cool. So you do hear a horrific nails on the chalkboard sound as the ghast's claws rake across Cedric's skin, but it does no damage. It is now though. You hear a wail begin. And it starts as a mournful kind of cry for a lost love or a family member. And it starts to build in pitch quickly, and it starts to affect you like a horrendous wind that just burns through your being. I am going to need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I'm just checking one thing. I assume Cedric doesn't have to roll it because he's made of metal. Does he get
It does not affect constructs or undead. You are right.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Right. Oriana is going to use Tides of Chaos on this, and I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
So we're both going to roll these with advantage.
Okay.
Right. Ace's con save was 18.
Okay.
Okay. Mine for hers, I have no idea. Hang on. 7. Yeah, I could have used Flash of Genius, but
17 for sepsis, 19 for Oriana.
Okay.
I'm going to use Flash of Genius. It puts it up to 11, but it's worth a shot because if it's over 10, maybe it'll help.
Okay. And
We're not close enough to Ace to get the bonuses for saving throws.
No.
Not currently, no.
No, it's like 10 foot or something, isn't it?
It's actually 5.
It's not. There's no way it's 5.
10 foot.
Yeah.
So Cedric would be fine. Yay.
Okay. So, and there we go. Dice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. You take. What was yours? A 7?
No, 11.
11. Okay. So, dice.
Yes.
You immediately keel over.
Uh-oh.
You are on 0 hit points.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
The rest of you who succeeded, you succeeded in your save against the Wail of the Banshee. Take 3d6 psychic damage. So each of you take 9 damage. That's for Oriana, Sepsis, and Ace.
Cool.
Okay. And the Banshee
One of
leaves
the
their
things I
hiding
like about Jaegering someone is that I get to use a
Leaves
piece
their
of
hiding
paper to
space.
keep track of shit.
and moves around behind Ace.
I am not well. I am unconscious.
I
Sure
would
are.
like, it is Oriana's go.
Okay. Is it Oriana and Sepsis' go because we rolled exactly the same thing and we have the same decks?
Yes. So you can choose who would like to go first.
Okay. Do I know if Dice is going to be making death saves?
You felt the blast of psychic energy, and you saw Dice fall. Dice is not moving or currently breathing. That much at least is obvious to you, because they're down on the floor right next to you.
I am. Sepsis is going to make their way to Dice.
Okay.
And cast. Spare the dying.
So Sepsis goes back down the stairs, gets the dice, and casts Spare the Dying.
Correct.
For the benefit of people watching, Spare the Dying does...
You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
So you are stable, you do not have to roll it, obviously a death saving throw on your turn.
And as a bonus action, I'll swap my my hex to the Banshee, because I can.
Yeah. Bonus action, Hex still runs, and the Hex is moved to the Banshee. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
Yes.
And Oriana.
Oriana's go. She will. I don't believe that she has any heal. She does have healing word.
Which is ranged.
It is.
It's also a bonus action.
It is a bonus action. Okay. Yep. She'll pop a first level healing word to bring Dice back to consciousness.
No problem.
Thank you. I like to live.
So dice gets 9 hit points.
Oh, nice.
Crazy.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 on the d4.
Okay.
And I will follow that up with a ray of frost at that other banshee.
Cool. Roll to hit.
That is a natural 1.
Fortunately, the ray of frost goes wide. Can you roll me a d6, please?
D6. 4.
A 4. It almost strikes Ace, but just manages to pass by. Can you also then please roll me for Oriana a wild magic surge?
Well, so here's the thing. I can do, but because I use Tides of Chaos, you can compel me to just roll on the wild magic table if you want.
Is that what that read says?
Yeah, Tides of Chaos means that you can compel me to roll a wild magic, basically roll for the wild magic effect.
Sorry, I missed table. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Roll on the wild magic table, please.
Because we don't get wild magic that often, so it's fun.
It's okay, guys. If Oriana fireballs me, I do have a backup character. It'll be okay.
5.
A 5.
A
in
5.
total.
0 and 5.
Ooh, here we go. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, epic. Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, I didn't like the sound of that very much either.
That'll do. You've had a 5 before.
Have we? Oh shit, it wasn't
Yeah.
the cascade of fucking...
So,
Oh no.
right next to Oriana,
Okay.
Right. Appears, yes.
Bri, I've just realised I lied to you and it's a 50. Sorry, mate. I don't. You so rarely roll percentile dice.
It's true.
It was a 50 and a 0, not a 0 and a 5. Oh shit.
I'll go as the 5 because I've already put it down on the map. It's fine.
Okay.
A small robotic construct
It's the tiny
is
robot.
in the space. It is very familiar to you.
Robot.
You once saw it while traveling through a mine in some mine carts, trying to kill a mimic. And it appears right next to Oriana and looks up at her.
Oh.
Is that the end of Oriana's turn?
Well, yep. She's used her bonus action and action, so yes.
Dice with very few hit points, but you're not rolling death saves. You are back up. You're on 9 hit points. It is your go.
I'm still prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a second, that's fine. Can I see the tiny? Can I see the tiny robot?
You can. Well, no, because it's up and out of your way at the moment. You're prone.
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on myself.
Okay.
Because 9 hit points is not sufficient.
Okay.
Not against these guys. Where's my d8s? There's one. Where's my other one? There it is. Oh, that was lovely. Does anyone ever have moments where they just can't math?
Yeah.
Or playing D&D all the time.
Those are the ones when I'm awake.
I've gained 16 hit points.
16, cool.
16. So I'm now on 25, so I'm still on half, but it's better. As a bonus action,
Yeah.
will you let me stuff some cloth in my ears?
Yeah, you can stuff some of your wadded up paper in your ears if you want to.
Oh, that paper, cool. Yeah, I just shove it in my ears.
Okay. You stand. Do you want to move?
Hell no.
15 feet of movement left.
No, there's fine.
Okay. And cool. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not very exciting, but yeah, that's the end of my go.
Excellent. Okay. Now then.
Now then.
The other rushes forward. to attack Ace. And it is going to make... there we go. As it moves into your... I'll wait until the rest of your turns. Okay. It's moved... This ghoul now has moved into all of your ranges. As it rushes towards you, the horrifying decay of its breath and its eyes as it stares at you. I need everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, I'm real good at those. You know what I always think about when I look at sepsis? That is a wise bitch.
Yeah, this is not going very well for me in any way, shape, or form.
Actually rolled pretty well. Sepsis rolled 10. Loriana rolled a 16.
Nice.
Ace rolled a 10, although their aura would give them +3 on that, I think.
Okay.
So that'd be 13. I rolled the very exciting 11.
I think the +3 is already applied to their saving throws. If you look at the...
It is, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. So Ace actually rolled a 10.
And what did you roll, dice?
11.
Yeah. Are you rolling with advantage on the saving throw? Or the bonus, the bonus that Ace gives you?
No, I'm not within 10
Ace is too far away.
Is it 10 feet, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, that's fine then. Thank you. There's a lot to keep track of. Dice and Ace, you are frightened
Oh, I'm fine with that. Okay.
of the ghoul that just ran at you.
It's not as bad as just straight up dying, is it?
No, I'm really okay with it. In comparison, it's a spectacular win.
Yeah, this is a big step up.
It is now
Being
going to
conscious
attempt,
but frightened.
it is now going to attempt to rake
The leaves?
Ace with its claws.
Not the leaves.
An advantage. That's
No, it's
gonna
got
be-
disadvantage because Cedric is going to do the same thing Ace did for them earlier and
Straight roll then.
How many
Yeah.
times can you do that? Is that just all the time?
Cedric's is a reaction, so it just happens, as is Ace's. Ace has protection, which does the same thing.
That's going to be a 18 to hit, Ace.
That's their armor class.
That's their armor class, so it does hit. Okay. I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw from Ace.
Oh, that is actually one of their fortes, right? You all suck, Dice. Go away. Why are you being so mean? You were so good earlier, and then... I'm sorry. Con save is 6.
Okay. So as the ghoul's claws rake across Ace's neck, Ace feels poison or some form of disease, some form of horrible energy seep into the wound. And Ace is paralyzed for a minute.
Well, shit. This isn't going very well.
Ace can, however, repeat the saving throw at the end of each of their turns.
Oh, good.
What do you mean it's not going very well? It's fine.
By whose standards?
The DM.
Well, your standards are a little different to mine and Greg's, I think. And also, if I kill Ace, Em's never going to forgive me.
Okay.
I like a fight where people go down. It's good.
I do too, but that's not the point.
Okay.
We like
So-
danger.
Screeching in.
Oh dear.
Alright, who died and made you king of the zombies?
Comes a darker, more horrendous
Oh, shit.
phantom. You notice this.
Bri. Quick question, Bri.
Yeah.
Is it the Phantom of the Opera?
It is not the Phantom of the Opera. It
Fuck.
can't sing for shit. However,
Might be
it
Gerard
cannot.
Butler.
It cannot, in this movement, get close enough to any of you to make an attack. So back to the top of the round. Ace, you're paralyzed. Ace is paralyzed. Can Ace
Yeah.
please make a con save?
Yeah, I'm going to use a different dice. I've used all my dice. They're all rolling really badly now because I taunted them.
I'm just gonna quick update with how Greg's doing. Pretty pleased with that Gerard Butler joke.
18.
18?
Yeah.
Ace, at the end of their turn, is no longer paralyzed.
Woo!
Better. Okay.
However, the Ghast is going to take a...
However, they are totally fucking surrounded by nasties.
The Ghast is going to make another strike then against Cedric.
I'm aghast.
Cedric. The Ace is still paralyzed until... No, it's the Ghast's turn. Ace isn't paralyzed anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, protection.
Okay. That's 10.
It misses.
Excellent. Okay, right. It is now the Banshee's turn.
Wonderful.
Fortunately, they've used their one whale of the day.
Dice doesn't trust this paper in the ears.
However, it is now going to reach out its corrupting touch.
Wow, all of these guys have such lovely dusty names, don't they?
That's a natural 20 on Ace.
It doesn't hit.
Wait, it's a natural 20 on Ace.
Mhm.
Yeah, it hits. What's the attack, sorry?
Melee spell, a melee attack.
Melee, not spell. Yeah.
No. Okay, so that is going to be 8, 10. It's going to be 20 points of necrotic damage to Ace.
Gross.
That is huge. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay.
I
Oh,
figured
yeah.
this was going to be one of those long dungeon crawls where like we have lots of successes and we should like conserve stuff, but I'm starting to think that this is going to be a very short dungeon crawl where we all die.
This is just the lobby. You haven't even gotten into the
Let's
main,
all go to
main
the
sitting room
lobby.
yet.
Let's all go to the lobby.
You're into the porch right now.
You're going to the fucking porch, mate.
Right, I've still got rope trick. We can go and spend an hour in a box when this shit's over.
Yeah.
Oriana and Sepsis.
Yes.
Go, go.
That's us. Well, Sepsis' job is easy. I'm going to Eldritchly Blast. That, and probably the one next.
Go for it.
That is an 18 and a 16 to hit.
Both of those hit. Roll the damage.
Both of those hit. Right. Damage. 10s and 6s. We have 10, 18, 21, 29 points of force damage. Oh, no, sorry, lies. 21 points of force damage and 7 points of necrotic damage. Which I bet it doesn't fucking affect it at all.
Yeah.
What's the point of Hex then? But I'll tell you what the point of Hex is. I will use my bonus action to inflict... how much? Sorry, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Features and traits. Where are you, Maddening Hex? Yeah, to deal 4 psychic damage to the Banshee, as well as any nasties that are within 5 feet of it.
So that's 1. So 4 points. Yeah.
4 points. Yeah, 4 points to the Banshee and 4 points to any nasties within 5 feet of it.
Okay. So both the Banshee and the Ghoul standing next to it seem affected by your attack, and the Banshee turns to look at you.
Then it looks like they were affected a normal amount by that psychic damage.
It absolutely does.
Excellent. In which case,
Oriana?
I'm getting to it. In which case, Oriana will viciously mock the Banshee.
Okay.
She will inform it that she fucked its banshee mother, and it screamed way louder than that.
Okay. All right.
So, wisdom saving throw for the banshee.
Wisdom saving throw for the banshee. That's going to be a natural one.
Good. That's 4 psychic damage to the banshee, and it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Excellent. Okay.
Rich, sorry, just a point of order and to query it very quickly. When the banshee did damage to everyone else, I was so focused on me being dropped that I forgot to write down the damage it did on Ace. 9. Thank you.
And as a bonus action, Oriana will assume her Mantle of Inspiration.
Okay.
Granting 5 temporary hit points to up to 5 creatures she can see,
Okay.
and that can see her within 60 feet. So that's all of us.
Everyone.
Yeah. Including Cedric, I suppose. And each creature can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks, if they want to. Melee.
Does anyone want to move?
I would have. I'm thinking Ace here, but obviously they are our tank, so I don't know what they would want to do.
Yeah.
If we all got on the stairs, we might be able to funnel them so they're attacking us one at a time. But this is getting a little metagamey, so I'm going to stop talking now. Sepsis is definitely going up the stairs.
Alright. If there's space on the stairs, Dice will move up to get a better view anyway.
Okay.
No opportunity attacks. See, that is good to try and line them up a little bit so they're not... At the very least, they're not getting advantage from flanking.
This is my thinking.
Yeah, Ace would know that. So Dice will go up and Ace will make their way towards the stairs to try and spread their auras across their friends and be able to fight a bit more on their terms.
Making their way towards the stairs.
Cedric will
Talking
follow and
fast.
stay beside Ace.
And Sepsis is going up the stairs as well.
Yeah, Sepsis will
Way
go
up.
up the stairs first, up towards Oriana. And actually, Oriana will move forward a bit to make room.
You've all got weird base shapes.
Yeah, we all chose different base shapes.
Thanks, guys.
Made us happy.
Circular base is obviously the correct option.
Mine should look like diamonds.
And is Ace going to
Well,
move?
it's a hexagon. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ace moves towards the stairs.
Yeah,
Cool.
Presumably keeping the wall to one side of them so they can't get completely surrounded, right?
yes. And Cedric goes with Ace. That'll do. It's better.
It's better for now, isn't it?
Definitely better than being surrounded.
And then
Okay.
Ace is top of the round as well, so they're going to probably get to move before
Dice, is your go.
some of these guys.
All right, I'm going to attempt to shoot the Banshee bitch. The crossbow is definitely a magical weapon because I checked
Yeah, that's fine.
while we were talking. So I'm going to attempt to shoot her twice.
Okay.
First is going to be a 19.
19.
Yep.
19 hits, roll for damage.
If it hadn't, I was going to be a bit upset with you. So that's going to be 11 damage on the first hit.
11. Okay.
I assume she's still alive.
Her form is withering.
Wonderful.
She looks messed up.
Messed up's better. The next one is going to be a 17.
17 hits, roll for damage.
Yay! That's 9 damage on the second.
9. She looks fucked up.
Okay, good.
Again, for the benefit of people in chat, I have 3 descriptors for when attacking an enemy. Hurt means 50% of the hit points have been taken off. Messed up means 75%. And fucked up means they're on the verge of death. So yeah, it is... Was that the end of your go?
I instruct Cedric to attack if anything comes within range, but to stay within 5 feet of Ace.
Okay. Cool. It is now the ghoul's turn then. It's going to rush forward. Next. That's fine. Okay. And he's going to attempt to attack. Let's see. That's better. He's going to attempt to attack Ace.
Yes, that's great.
That's going to be a 19.
Yeah. Wait, Cedric's still next to them.
Yeah.
Cedric hasn't had a turn yet, so they wouldn't have gotten their reaction. Oh, no. Oh, Cedric acts on my turn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, then Cedric is going to impose disadvantage.
As a reaction.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah, but that's not on your turn. That's just a reaction Cedric can have.
Yeah, but Cedric's reactions come back, presumably.
After your turn. Yeah.
Yeah, after my turn. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
Cedric will impose disadvantage.
Excellent. Okay. So that's going to be a natural 1. So the ghoul completely missed his ace.
Much better.
Okay, it is now, as they rush forward, the Spectre's turn. The Spectre again is going to fly.
He's gonna fly like a bird through the night.
Okay, fly forward and attempt to attack Cedric.
Protection.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So disadvantage.
Yep.
It's going to be a 9. That misses.
You seem really mad at me now.
Not mad at you, it's fine. Back to the top of the round. Ace, your go.
Technically, the creature would have to be within 5 feet of Ace. So
It is within 5 feet of Ace.
Oh no, yeah, attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. Cedric's next to Ace, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's Cedric's go. Sorry, Sepsis's go.
No, Ace.
Oh, what is wrong with me? Yeah, Ace, okay.
Of the round, it's back to Ace's go.
Back up the stairs. No flanking on the stairs. Fine place stairs. No flanking on stairs.
It does mean leaving poor Cedric.
It's a fucking dog. You can make another one.
You just got a puppy.
Not to be the Sam Riegel of this group, but your dog really isn't that useful. Leave him behind.
Okay. I am going to attempt to attack the one in front of me with my longsword of warning.
Okay. So you're going to attempt to attack a ghoul?
Yeah, but I'm going to use, assuming I hit, I'm going to use. No, I'm not. I'm just going to try and hit it.
Right. Just as an aside.
Yes.
Because you're a paladin.
Yes.
Right. If you burn a spell, you
Yeah.
can just use Divine Smite.
I know. That's what I was about to say.
Ah. Okay.
But I was.
Because you just said you were going to hit it.
Yeah, but you only get to use Divine Smite if you hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That being said, however, I am not going to use it on this guy because I don't want to waste the spell slots when I think the other Spectre coming up is probably more dangerous
Okay.
than the ghoul. But that's going to be a... the first attack, sorry, is going to be 19 to hit.
19 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Yes. I can't find all my d8s. They've all wandered off. That's going to be a...
Just hold 2 d4s together. It's the same thing.
It's going to be 10
10
damage.
damage. Okay.
How injured is it looking? How injured is it looking?
It's hurt.
Okay, I'm going to try and hit it again for my second attack, but this time I am going to use Divine Smite,
Okay.
assuming I hit. Don't have to hope I would. Yeah, so that's going to be 16 to hit.
16 definitely hits.
Yeah.
Damage.
Wonderful. So that's
Finish him.
Sorry?
I said, finish him.
6, and then there's an additional 2d8 on top of that. I don't have enough d8s.
D8's your only weakness.
Apparently so. So that's going to be 12 extra damage, so that's 18 damage total.
18 damage total. The sword slices through, and a burst of radiant energy burns all of the skin and flesh, and carving the ghoul in front of you into 2 pieces as it falls apart in front of you. Starts to move it.
I say, worth it. Sorry.
At the end, is that the end of Ace's go?
Ace is going to retreat to the bottom of the stairs, like up onto the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Can we say they've done that? Because it's going to be very
Yeah, it's fine.
balance the metal mini on those stairs.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Thank you, Dolphin Forge, for your amazing work. However, stairs, while a wonderful set piece, absolutely useless.
You put them on the map.
I know I did. Okay, so Ace then retreats onto the stairs. That's fine. Let's see if I can actually.
You've given him a challenge now.
No, that's fine. I'll do. Okay. At the end of Ace's go,
Yes.
you hear a crash in the distance, and you can just see far off across the square.
Nothing bad happening.
That is edged by the fountain. You can see a large, what looks like zombie, being forced straight through a wall that collapses around its head. And as the rubble kind of subsides and the dust cloud goes, you can just see the older one of the knights standing there, holding a shining blade that looks as if it's on fire. And he turns and heads away from you, back into what you can hear is now the fray in the distance. It is now. There we go.
Did you say we can hear the fray in the distance? Are they playing How to Save a Life?
Yeah. One, 2.
Love that song.
Okay.
Sacrificial dog.
The ghast rushes forward and attempts to strike Cedric.
Yep.
That's a natural 20.
No, it doesn't hit.
You can give me a good enough reason as to why I'll believe you.
I can't.
Okay. So it's going
Because you don't want to upset Millie? Because she can make your life miserable? That's a
I
good
cooked
reason.
you dinner, motherfucker.
No, you didn't.
No, I do.
Oh, right. Okay, Cedric takes 11, 22 points of damage.
Fucking hell. Do you know what? That's not even half their health at the moment. That's fine.
Okay. The Banshee takes their turn.
So glad they only get 1 scream per.
That's
It's amazing that he's better at remembering gender-neutral pronouns for the Banshee than he is for 2 of the characters in this game.
Gender neutral pronouns are apparently very hard for French.
And attempts to strike at Ace
Disadvantage.
for.
Being viciously mocked.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a 2. So, yeah, the Banshee misses. It
Does
is
not hit me.
Sepsis.
Sepsis will... You know what, this Eldritch Blast thing seems to be working pretty well for us so far. I'm gonna stick with it, I think. Blast!
And who? The Banshee.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes. I think only one of them might hit. So I've got a 15 and a 12 on
Both
those
hit.
two. Both hit.
Both hit. Its armor class is 12.
Fucking hell.
Roll for damage.
I will, thank you. I won't bother rolling the d6s since they do necrotic damage and no one gives a shit about necrotic damage down here. 15 damage.
15 damage.
Force variety, and then bonus action 4 psychic damage to him.
Okay. The Banshee screams, but the wail is not as forceful as before, and it is the scream of death as the Banshee dematerializes.
Woo! Best day ever!
You know, its previous scream is actually the scream of life.
Hi, I have a question.
It died before you did the psychic damage.
Oh, in that case, my bonus action... Flipping heck, I could do something else for bonus action for once. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Imagine. Give me a second. Bonus actions.
Many bonus actions to die.
No bollocks to it, I won't take a bonus action. I can't swap my hex until the following round, so...
Okay. Around.
Oriana, that's me.
Yes.
Sorry. That's my bad.
Hey, it's hard.
You shouldn't be able to see that from here. Ray of Frost, I think.
Against.
Well, I reckon she doesn't really have line of sight on the ghast, so it's going to have to be the ghoul, I think. So.
The Spectre, she doesn't have line of sight on, but she can hit the ghoul. Yeah.
Whatever it is. You know, the darker one closer to the wall.
That's
She doesn't
fine.
have line of sight on. Is it 1 attack roll or 2 for Ray of Frost? Yeah, just 1. Yeah, that definitely hits. That's like loads.
Okay.
25.
Cool. Hits.
Somewhere in that region. So that's 2 of the d8s.
Okay.
In damage. Blam. 7 damage.
7.
7 damage.
It is fucked up, but it is
The
still standing.
Cold
Yes.
variety.
You can see that its form is covered in frost now, and it seems to have slowed slightly, but it is still just holding on.
Touch of frost, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oriana will give Dice a quick inspiring back rub
Okay.
as a bonus action.
I enjoy it enormously.
Good. You enjoy it so much that you can add an extra d6 to a roll that you do at some point in the
Is
near
that
future.
any roll or attack, saving throw?
There was a bard in your party for so long. As a bonus action, blah blah blah. For 10 minutes, the creature can add it to 1 ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
Fine. Thank you. And you say we had a bard in our party for so long. We did, but nobody ever gives me inspiration anymore, so I've forgotten how it works.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Hate you. Dice, is your go.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to shoot the spectre this time, twice with my crossbow.
Cool, go for it.
First attack. Oh, thank you, Lords of the Dice. Not Lord of the Dance, please. Very different. Much more scary.
Who are you attacking? The Spectre, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
22?
22 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
23, actually. So first attack that's got going to be 9.
9 points of damage. Okay.
Second attack is going to be the much less exciting 12.
12 hits. Roll for damage.
That's amazing. That is going to be 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my bonus action to encourage Cedric to attack No, I've.
The ghoul looks. They both look fucked up. The ghoul looks more fucked up than the spectre.
Yeah, Cedric's going to attempt a force empowered rend on the ghoul.
Cool. Okay. Roll for attack.
That's not atrocious for a change. He hasn't hit anything today. I've forgotten how to roll for him. 15.
15 hits. Roll for damage.
Yay! With the D8 again, which all seem to have left. Nice. 8 force damage.
8 force damage. Okay. As then Sepsis grabs on to the more solid form of the ghoul, it just...
Sepsis ain't grabbing nothing.
Oh, sorry, Cedric. Your faithful constructed dog just tears the body apart completely, and whatever necrotic energy was holding this form together leaves it completely, and it dies where it stands.
Yay!
So, the Spectre, an intelligent creature, if one that is undead, looks at what is happening here and decides it doesn't want any more of this. No. And disengages from Cedric.
Easy enough, Cedric doesn't get an opportunity attack, so...
Begins to move away, when suddenly, from off to the right, comes a very familiar bolt of energy to Sepsis, though it blows...
Who's firing a bolt of energy at Sepsis?
It is familiar to you. It shoots off from the right, off from a distant source you cannot see, striking the Spectre, thrusting it into the wall, where the wall and the Spectre seem to collapse and explode into nothing, which has been hit by an eldritch blast.
Sepsis fires one at it, like literally a moment later, is like, fucking kill stealing.
And AD, you can get rid of the map if you want to. Thank you, mate. And you're all out of initiative.
We're so lost without you.
You see then, walking in from the right, as the silence returns to the cabin you are in, you see walking in from the right the 2 young knights. There are 3 large automaton constructs and a much reduced line. There are only about 5 humans left. Out of the 10 they took with them.
You seem to have carelessly misplaced some of your humans.
The younger knight walks up and looks at his handiwork, and at your comment, chuckles to himself. Yes, carelessly. You've kept on to yours, though. The older knight looks at him for a moment before turning his attention to the rest of you and walks over, flanked by all of the automatons.
I roll an insight check against the look he gave Ankin.
Ankin.
Him, yeah.
Well, let's just call him what he fucking is.
No, we're not allowed to do that. That's bad.
Ankin.
Darth Vader.
Insight of 18, Rich?
He seemed very unhappy with his younger apprentice's disdain for human life. That look said a lot. That will be a conversation. The look implied it will be a conversation they have much later. This is also very heavily then weighted or cemented in your mind when he walks over, and as you make your way down the stairs, he walks straight past Sepsis, straight past Oriana, towards you and Dice.
Ace.
Sorry, towards you and Ace. And he looks you both up and down, quite intently, which is quite disconcerting. This is the first time for both of you that an elf you would consider in most circumstances to be your enemy looks at you very intently with no hatred and no malice or disdain in his eyes. And he reaches out, seeing no real wounds on you, touches you on the shoulder, and you regain 13 hit points.
Nice. I say, thank you.
He nods silently towards you, and then moves over to Ace. Places his hand over one of her wounds, over one of their wounds. And Ace regains 14 hit points.
You know, I have to do all this manually for Ace. It's very difficult.
I'll amend it later.
Ace says thank you too.
He nods and then turns back to Oriana and Seb says, I saw in the midst of our battle with the Zorn that you all handle yourself rather well.
Yes.
You are...
There's a vortex of necrotic energy coming towards us from behind. I don't know if you're aware of it.
It appears every once in a while when we try and venture down here. It is quite slow moving. We have nothing to worry about. Also, it does not appear to be able to enter the old temple yards. So I believe now, while a lot of us are injured and could do with a rest, we should retreat to a temple yard.
You'll get no objection from us.
It is fortunate, as we were looking in the temple yard for a safe haven for all of us, that we found the nest of Zorn inside the temple.
Yes, how convenient. Did you manage to capture one?
Unfortunately, no. They were all dead.
Already?
Yes.
Sorry.
That is quite all right in the heat of the moment. It appeared quite quickly when we found the Zorn that they had been killed by a roving band of, I suppose you would call them zombies.
Right.
They're all dead now, however.
That's unfortunate. Weren't they part of the plan?
What, the zombies?
No, the Zorn.
Well, no. We had to find their nest. Their nest, we hoped, and which has proven true, would lead us to the entrance to the Underdark.
Aha. Good.
And from what we can see, it does lead into much deeper, older caverns that we believe may be at least some of the Underdark. So the first part of our mission, I believe, is a fantastic success. We have not lost and he takes a breath. We've not lost a great deal of our number. The younger one from behind. Acceptable losses.
I give the guy behind sort of a look, but I try and be as subtle as possible. But dice ain't subtle, let's be honest. We all know this.
I suppose this is where the fun starts.
Well, the fun, I believe, will start when we are much deeper underground. But please, join us in the churchyard. We will, I've just thought of the title for this episode. We will endeavour to round up the rest of our fellows and join us in the temple yard.
Excellent. Which way?
If you would follow our automaton friends, I'm sure they can show you.
Of course.
And he walks off with a nod at you all, past his apprentice, who he kind of summons with a look, and then they walk off further into the tent.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do any of the automatons look damaged?
They do. They've taken some heavy hits, and they do look like a bit battered and bruised.
As the elf is walking away, I go, Sepsis, can you ask him a question for me?
What?
I want to know, I have some skill with fixing things. I would like to repair the automatons before they go into the Underdark after my rest. If they would let me.
Okay. Hey.
Yes, was there something else before we go?
Yes. This one has some skill with repairing machinery and
Show Cedric.
and yes, creating machinery. Although this dog was summoned from hell, obviously, and believes that she may be able to carry out some rolling repairs to your metal gentleman. Would you permit her to have a try?
That would be greatly appreciated. They are actually quite valuable, and it would be a shame, or actually quite difficult to carry them out should they become inoperable.
They can't be that valuable. Look how dinged up you've got them.
They have been with us in many battles and have survived far worse, but a little repair couldn't hurt. Thank you.
Jolly good then.
And he says thank you to Dice.
I sort of...
And he takes his apprentice, who looks very unimpressed with the conversation, and walks off.
Sepsis turns to Dice and says, those two have a really dysfunctional relationship. Have you noticed?
I have absolutely noticed. The younger one's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah. He seems like the type of person who would murder an entire village, and not just the men, the women and the little children too.
I don't think he seems that bad. A little psychopathic maybe, but not that bad.
No, I can sense this sort of thing in people.
You can feel it in the force. Sorry.
Takes one to know one.
Says God.
Midichlorian count is off the charts, though. Let's go.
Let's go.
So you follow the automatons, and they do take you to a nearby temple. Do you want to try and work out whose temple it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a religion check.
Sorry, not me. Ace wants to work it out.
Okay. That's why I'm asking, because I want to remind you that your other characters might want to actually know stuff.
Yeah, I tend to be roleplay light when we're just Jaegering. Doesn't seem.
Ace rolled a 20.
Ace rolled a 20. Okay. This temple is built like a stable. The yard itself, you can imagine that worshippers would have tied up their horses or let them roam free in the yard around the temple. It in itself looks like a farm building, just transposed, well, with marble transposed for wood and plaster. And as you walk in, Ace kind of looks around and she recognizes it's a very old, they recognize it's a very old goddess of human people that has not been worshipped in a long time, but this is a temple of Epona.
Who?
Epona.
Oh, thank you.
The horse from Ocarina of Time.
It's actually the name of a Celtic goddess of horses.
Now we know.
Can't fucking fool me. You're slipping Ocarina of Time horses in this setting.
You can see that the halflings have already arrived. They are, unfortunately, slightly fewer in number. But they do have their full brace of 10 human slaves chained up and sat over in one corner. And the Durgar have also arrived. They are still just as strong in number and are sat in another corner with their half-elf friend.
How dinged up do the humans with the halflings look?
They look as dinged up as before. One of them might be bleeding slightly.
Okay. All
But
right.
they're being tended to by their fellows.
It's better than it could be. Okay.
And as you sit to rest
Yeah.
and await for everyone else to come back, The half-elf rises slowly, walks over to your group, and drops a small vial in front of you. And then cocks their head towards Ace. And then walks back and sits back down with the Duga.
I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
It's a small vial, sloshing red liquid. Looks very familiar.
Healing potion.
Do you want to taste it and find out?
I will. I'll test it. I'm not going not enough to use it up. I just want to check it is what sepsis, being trusting as they are.
You dip your finger in. It is refreshing.
Tastes like cowpole.
Mm-hmm. You feel your sinuses clear. It is a very finely made healing potion, if a small one.
I pass it to Ace.
It's a standard healing potion.
Actually, who's iller? Is Ace or Dice iller?
I'm on 38 hit points out of 58. Ace is on 55 out of 70. So much of a muchness, to be honest, because we're both 20 points-ish down. Give it to Ace. They take more damage.
Okay. I mean, we're all having a short rest now anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'll
pass it to Ace, but suggest that they save it for later because we're about to do some healing anyway.
That's a good suggestion. Ace pockets it with sort of a look of thanks to the half-elf.
Half-elf doesn't return the look, just stares off at the wall.
If we're taking a short rest here, Ariana will. I don't know because she's not a music playing bard, according to Charlie. But I don't know what she's going to do. So she does have a flute. So she will take out her flute and play a little song of rest.
Okay.
Cool. For everybody, and that basically everyone who can hear it, all friendly creatures who can hear her performance, get to regain an extra D6 hit points.
Nice.
As a result of that.
Okay. And while that is going on, then, while you are all healing up, and Oriana plays her little ditty of rest on the flute, I believe we will leave it there for this evening.
By all means.
Lovely.
Okay. So that was episode 33. We've had a couple of episodes recently with almost no combat whatsoever. So I thought, what a nice way to start. Nice long dungeon crawl, half role play, half constant combat. There's going to be a lot more of that coming. Well, there might not be, depending on our characters' choices, but you know what dice is like with opening boxes. Please don't forget to join us next week for a start. We enjoy having everyone in chat. We enjoy chatting to you. Thank you very much for coming along and sharing the adventure with us. If you could, please, because we really want to get it changed, pop over to our YouTube, which I believe is in the chat. Thank you very much, AD. Yes, our YouTube channel is in the chat. As you can see, that URL is horrible and we hate it. So if you could, please pop over to YouTube, click subscribe, where you will find all of our previous episodes if you want to catch up. And soon this week, now I've actually scripted it, you will find the catch-up episodes, which is going to be about 15 minutes long, explaining what's gone on so far. If I can get it all into 15 minutes. So yes, please pop over to YouTube, chuck us a like, a subscribe, whatever, just so we can change the horrendous URL. More importantly than begging and plugging ourselves, please, now that you've finished with us, come along almost, what are we back to? 5 nights a week now? 5 nights a week?
5 Nights at Freddy's?
Not 5 Nights at Freddy's, we're not going to play that one here. But I think it's back down to 5 nights a week now. Six again. Cool. We've got so many different role-playing games on the tabletops that are coming out. Pathfinder, Carbon 2185, Iron Kingdoms this Wednesday. Excellent. All the players are awesome. All the DMs are awesome. Come along. Not that you might think I'm crap. All the rest of them are brilliant. But yes,
You
come
aren't
along.
crap.
Check us out and get involved, because these are going to be the DMs that are going to be entertaining you on the wonderful 48-hour charity live stream we have got going on at the end of August. Can't plug it enough. We're all really excited. Can't wait. But yes, go along to Heavyweight Gaming, spelled exactly as it is on the channel, over on Facebook to find out more. There's a lot more information on Facebook. Or if it's easier, you just fancy chucking some money at us, go just below here and click on the donate button. The money will go to 3 amazing causes. Apart from that, thanks everyone for coming along. Thanks everyone for joining us again. Please join us again here next week. But apart from that, stay safe and good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Catch you
Bye.
later.